This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody, back in here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. One last time, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. We are here. We are ready for the 5A state title game, and it's an all-Middale, all-OSN affair. The Carl Albert Titans, #1 in 5A West. The Del City Eagles, #2 in 5A West. The two best teams all year long. They've dominated largely their way to this point, and now they meet for a championship. Everything you could hope for, Jordan, in a way to end the season, obviously for us, but just as a fan of high school hoops, it's a big rivalry game. Two great teams, great players everywhere, D1 level athletes everywhere, and let's see what happens here. May the best team win, I guess, as they say.
Yeah, you know what? When I left this floor a year ago after Del City lost to Tulsa Memorial, and even before then, I was thinking long and hard about what does next year look like? Because I tend to do that sometimes. And of the 8 teams that made state last year, there was no question to me that the two that returned the most talent was Carl Albert and Del City. Carl Albert had one senior. They lost Domarion Brown. Good player, but not great. They could do well without him. Del City was going to return everybody. Well, it turned out they ended up not having Terry McMorris, but Jaden Foreman came back from an injury, so you replace the Foreman with McMorris, you're still fine. Not as deep as they'd like, but still they're going to be okay. So it was something that I saw heading into the season. I think they were ranked 1 and 2 in 5A, along with Tulsa Memorial, maybe 1, 2, or 3 or something like that to start out with.
Sure.
And this was the matchup we anticipated. And sure enough, there are a couple times when you thought, I don't know about these teams. In Carl Albert's case, they were, both teams actually hobbled by injuries a little bit. But you know what? Once they got healthy, got to the postseason, they've been taking care of business.
Obviously, we don't get to see the East Side schools that much over the course of the season, but it really felt like, man, it's going to be hard-pressed for anybody to beat either of these two teams other than each other. And that's how it felt for a long time as teams are taking the floor now here at the LNC. And I asked you, Jordan, about a month ago, I said, will they be on opposite sides because they meet each other in the title game? And you said if they both go undefeated, they will be on opposite sides.
Undefeated in the playoffs,
the playoffs, and that's what happened. They're opposite sides. They both pretty much rolled through their first 2 state tournament games, and now here they are meeting for the whole dang thing. We're going to talk to Coach Jay Price and Coach Lenny Hatchett in just a moment. Before we do that, I want to make sure we thank Gina Standridge, who's been a big sponsor, I should say, for this entire postseason run here on the Oklahoma Sports Network on the Del City end of things. Vote for her for Mid-Del School Board Ward 3 on April 4th. Experience a dedication for the future of Mid-Del education. She grew up in this community, she lives in the community, and she taught in the community. She wants the best for the kids. She's given countless hours to Mid-Del School. She's sponsored many academic and athletic events over the years, so get out and vote for her on April 4th, 2023. Mrs. Gina Standridge, authorized and paid for by Standridge for Mid-Del School Board 2023. We're going to take a timeout here. When we come back, Jordan's going to talk to Coach Jay Price and Coach Lenny Hatchett, and we'll have the lineups in the game for you shortly thereafter, right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
All right, welcome back here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Getting ready for this 5A state title game. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray. Jordan's out on the floor. He's got Del City head coach Lenny Hatchett. Let's get some words from Coach Hatchett. Go ahead, Jordan.
All right, as Coach Hatchett signs off on his roster. Coach Hatchett, as you take a closer diving look at Carl Albert and how they played the last few games, what's stood out to you about how difficult they'll be of it?
I mean, they just play together. You know, they're an experienced team. Those guys grew up together, I know, and they run a great system. They do their job, and you know, they know how to win.
Now, you beat them earlier, but just a few weeks ago, and they didn't have Tayshawn James in that game. What type of difference maker could he be for them?
Oh, he's going to be a huge difference because I know he's physical. He's an athlete. You know, he's not a Division I commit to Iowa State for nothing. So anytime you got a guy like that, you got to be aware of, and you got to make sure that, you know, he doesn't get going, and because he's going to try to make some things difficult for us.
And how important is attrition going to be, and also, you know, foul trouble in this game? Would you want to play most of your starters most of the time, I assume?
We're going to play the guys that are playing the best out there. You know, and that's how we want to run with it. And we'll know when they're tired, and we'll get them a breather, and we'll go from there.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Jordan will make his way down the floor, down to come talk to head coach Jay Price of the Carl Albert Titans, from one bench to the other. And now Jordan's got Coach Jay Price.
All right, Coach Price, you saw Del City turn it up a notch on the defensive level against Tulsa Memorial. And in the last 3 games you played against them this year and last year, same core group of players, it's been a challenge scoring against them like it is for most teams. What's got to be going on for you guys on offense?
Well, you know, for one thing, you know you got to make some shots. With Garrison in the middle, he's going to get a lot of rebounds. He's going to control the boards for the most part. So, you know, you got to take good shots and you got to make those good shots. And then just defend like we did yesterday. We played a really good defensive game, and you know you got to keep them down so that you got to minimize their opportunities so you can try to have some of your own on the offensive end.
You went mostly 6 deep yesterday. Could we see you go a little bit deeper into your bench this game?
Most possibly and most likely. I mean, a game like this, guys get gassed pretty quickly, but yesterday, just the way their matchups were with them, we weren't sure about some of the size differences that we would have if we went with some of our guys, but for the most part, you know, we're going to just look for what opportunities we need to fill in, or if somebody needs a break or foul trouble, we'll roll with that.
What's one final thing you're going to tell your team before they take the floor?
Just leave it out there. You know, you got to play. It's your last game. You got to play as hard as you can. You got to do everything you can to possibly win, and know that you did that when you walk off the floor.
All right, Coach, good luck.
All right, great stuff from Coach Lenny Hatchett and Coach Jay Price, head coaches of these 2 great programs and teams. All right, we're going to take one last time out here. We'll come back in a few minutes. We'll have the starting lineups, and then we'll have the ball game for you. The 5A title game coming up on the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American Airman kicking your butt. I'm I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
We want to make your next event an adventure. At Inflatable Adventures, we want to make your next event hassle-free by providing incredible products at a great price, along with amazing customer service. We offer one of the widest selections of bounce houses, water slides, obstacle courses, and so much more. Give us a call today or check us out online at inflatableadventures.org. Remember, Inflatable Adventures, the only inflation worth paying for.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we grew up under these lights, so we know what hard work and dedication really means. Because to us, being the best is about helping our community when they need us most. It's about giving our all on every play and every job. Being your hometown champs means being part of a team that succeeds together. So every time you call, you get nothing but our best. And that's what makes us Champion Plumbing.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Coast Technology Group is your full IT managed service provider, utilizing simple, reliable technology for your home and business. Remote monitoring and management, network infrastructure, and cybersecurity, all with 24/7, 365-day live support. When you partner with CTG, you get the 150 years combined experience of our experts, helping your business grow while keeping your systems secure.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we grew up under these lights, so we know what hard work and dedication really means. Because to us, being the best is about helping our community when they need us most. It's about giving our all on every play and every job. Being your hometown champs means being part of a team that succeeds together. So every time you call, you get nothing but our best. And that's what makes us Champion Plumbing.
Back here at the Lloyd Noble Center, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on hand. Just had a great rendition of National Anthem from a high school student right here. And we're having the two teams getting introduced right now, get the full-blown All-Star Game World Series type of introductions here, as both full rosters will be announced here for this 5A state championship game between the Carl Albert Titans and the Del City Eagles. Big thanks to Jay Price and Lenny Hatchett for chatting with Jordan there before we got things rolling, as they have throughout this state tournament run to this point. If you weren't with us last night, both teams did what they do. Carl Albert rolled over Holland Hall despite some poor free throw shooting. Then Dell City, kind of the same. Suffocating defense, poor free throw shooting, didn't matter. Taking down Tulsa Memorial, getting revenge for last year's championship game. Now here we are with the all-Mid-Del, all-OSN 5A state title game. Going to be a fun one here coming up in just a few moments. Jordan, how you feeling on an energy level? I mean, the last game of the season here.
Yep. You basically summed it up. Both teams, for Carl Albert first, played some really tight, effective defense against Holland Hall, a good team, and then shot. While they did it, they shot miserably from the free throw line, making 50% of their shots. And then Dell City was like, hold my beer. And in their game, they played even more impressive defense against a really good Tulsa Memorial team, and they were able to win, and it shot even worse from the free throw line, less than 50%. But that's going to be a key in this game still. Which team will break the free throw schneid?
Starting lineups presented by Louis in Midwest City, 6007 Southeast 15th Street, Midwest City. Louis from your neighborhood. First for the Carl Albert Titans, who are going to be the road team here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Number 2, Casey Baker, the 6'1 junior. Number 3, Jordan England, a 6-foot senior. Big Jaden Mott, number 11, a 6'7 junior. Number 21, Ryan Reynolds, a 6'5 junior. He's had a very nice state tournament so far. And number 22 is Quincy Hopkins. He's a 6'3 junior. Carl Albert is coached, of course, by Jay Price. Number 1 team in 5A West. The Dell City Eagles, meanwhile, the number 2 team in 5A West. All senior starting 5. Number 4, Demarius Veely, comes in at 5'8". Brandon Garrison, number 10, is 6'9". Number 12, Jamori McAllister, he's 6'2". Number 22, Percy Green, 6'3". And then Jaden Foreman Felix rounds out number 23. He comes in at 6'5", and they are coached, of course, by Lenny Hatchett. So the teams are doing one last huddle. They're just about ready to go. I usually ask a key, Jordan, for the Mid-Del team, but that's both parties here. So
well,
I guess what do you feel like is going to decide the game, or what is the big key here?
So on the graphic, you're going to see the 2 marquee players for both teams, and it's been this way for them for 2 years. Jordan England for Carl Albert, Brandon Garrison for Dell City.
Right.
What's interesting about yesterday, both players got in foul trouble in the second half, and they had to play key minutes without them. Which player can avoid that foul trouble? They both need to avoid it. They both need to be ready to go the full 32 in this one.
Agree completely. And we're just about ready to get it going. Like I said, Carl Albert is going to be the road team, if you can call it that, but obviously lots of Mid-Del people here for both squads. They're in the road reds with the black Titans across the chest, white numbers. Dell City in the home whites with the cursive black Eagles and black numbers. And here we go, one final time, Jordan, at the Lloyd Noble Center, the 5A title game. Carl Albert wins the tip. They have it first, going right to left from our vantage point here courtside at the Lloyd Noble Center. Quincy Hopkins with the ball for the Titans. He'll pull it from the left elbow, and he's got it. That's a very nice shot to start your title game for Hopkins, and the Titans are on the board first.
He made that over Brandon Garrison's outstretched arm, too, so very impressive shot.
Like you mentioned, and anybody watching this game that's fans of these two schools know, these teams met on the final day of the regular season, Dell City winning that game at John Smith Fieldhouse. And now they meet again here about a month or so later in the championship game. Jamori McAllister with it for the Eagles. He was really good last night in the win over Tulsa Memorial. He drives and has his shot blocked by Jordan England, and now McAllister gets called for kind of reaching in on him.
Yeah, that's where McAllister could get in trouble with the fouls. He did have one early in the game last night and didn't really hurt him. He didn't come out because of foul trouble. Interesting matchup also. We do see McAllister guarding Jordan England, and Foreman Felix, the power forward, is switching on to guard Quincy Hopkins, the small forward.
England being hounded by McAllister. Almost got his second foul right there. Gives it underneath here to Jaden Mott. Spin move on Garrison. Love this matchup. Turnaround shot is good for Mott over Garrison.
2 shots over Garrison. Mott makes the second one. A really good post move.
Makes it 4-0 Titans here in the very early going. 6:40 to play in the first. Veely goes down the lane for the Eagles. Turnaround shot is going to roll home. Got the friendly bounce, and the Eagles are on the board.
Veely guarded by Casey Baker. Probably feels like he can penetrate on him and get to the lane. Was able to get to there.
England with it the other way. Screen set by Mott, knocks McAllister down. England will drive, kick it out to Baker, pass a little high. Hopkins, oh, what an acrobatic play that was to save it. Got into Baker, feeds off to Mott, but Veely just ripped it away from him. Nice defensive play by Veely. Long pass it to Garrison, but he missed him, and it's a turnover.
I don't get that pass. He tries to roll a bounce pass to Garrison. Throw it high, and Brandon Garrison's pointing up. Why would you not lob it up to
he's near 7
Mr.
foot.
6'9", yeah.
Want to make sure we thank our first quarter sponsor as well, Buffalo Wild Wings, where every day is game day. 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. 2 minutes in, 4-2 lead for the Titans, and they have the ball. Jordan England gets around McAllister, going to his right. Now he'll back it out. Good defense there by Veely. He'll go to his left on him off a screen from Mott. Pull-up shot from just inside the free throw line will go with a foul. Jordan England off to a nice start.
Coach Price for Carl Albert said we need to make some shots, meaning not shots right at the paint, but maybe mid-range. They've made 3 mid-range shots so far as Carl Albert.
First trip to the Rose State Cherry Stripe for either squad. It's Jordan England shooting one here, going for the three-point play, and he knocks it down. Makes it 7-2. Jaden Foreman Felix with the ball here at the interlocking OU at the Lloyd Noble Center. Feeds it off right side to McAllister. Over to Percy Green at the top. He's guarded by Hopkins. This is another fun matchup. There's fun matchups everywhere in this game. Green's going to drive on Hopkins. Mock came over, blocked it off the backboard. Titans will start the break. England down the floor, goes right at Garrison. He returns the favor. Mott and Garrison with both ferocious blocks on back-to-back possessions.
You know, Mott, of anyone Garrison's played against, comes closest to him in height, and he has gotten better and better as a rim protector himself.
England tries to get it into Mott. It's poked away by Foreman Felix to go out of bounds. Some discussion, and then it's ruled Eagle ball.
One thing about Del City on defense, they need to be careful with switches. I don't think if Veely switches on England will try to take him in the paint, not all the way in the post, but maybe try to get close enough to shoot a mid-range shot. That's how he got that and one.
Foreman Felix with it. He's guarded by Ryan Reynolds here on the right wing. He's going to take it at him. Now feeds off to McAllister on the wing. McAllister started to work it in on England, but kicks it out to Veely. Veely goes across the top of the arc here. Spin move on Baker. Now he'll back it out. Hand off to Foreman Felix. Felix will take it to the rim here. Left-hand layup attempt over Reynolds is good. That was a nice finish by the big man, Jaden Foreman Felix.
Finishing with his left hand,
yeah.
He's right-handed. Very good move.
That was very nice. Quincy Hopkins on the other side for Carl Albert. Going to his right, he'll pull up for a long two. Off the side of the rim, no good. Garrison skies for the board. And Eagles have it going back to their way. Foreman Felix down the lane here. Kicks it out. Garrison walks into a transition three up the back iron. No, he had a couple last night.
Yeah, I didn't hate the shot. I didn't hate it. He caught it in rhythm.
Yeah.
Just put a little bit too much backspin on it.
Casey Baker with it for the Titans. He was also very good yesterday in the win over Holland Hall. Reynolds gets over to England. England takes it toward the top. Now feeds it off to Hopkins. Hopkins guarded by Jaden Foreman Felix. Right side to Mott. Now in the corner to Baker. Baker will go across the free throw line. Finds Reynolds on the wing. Thought about shooting it, but Green collapsed on him. And back over to Hopkins, and Carl Albert will reset some things. Just past the midway point of the first 5A title game here in the Oklahoma Sports Network. Baker guarded by Veely. Rocket pass underneath to England. England's going to take it and try to shoot over Garrison, but he blocked him again. England does get his shot back, though, and the Titans will stick with it on offense. Mott in the corner is going to take it at Garrison. Goes across the lane, and Garrison pins him on the backboard. It's a block party for Garrison.
Only one man could do that to Jaden Mott.
Yep.
That's Mr. Garrison.
Foreman Felix down the lane, right-hand shot through some contact, won't go. McAllister, though, finds a way to get the board and sticks it back home.
Just McAllister's energy there. He's always going to be around the basketball when there's a loose ball coming.
As you might expect, great crowd here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Lots of students on both sides, too. Awesome energy for this rivalry matchup in the title game. England on the elbow for the Titans. Bowls over McAllister, and it's going to be a foul on England, so he gets one early. Both England and McAllister have picked up a foul on each other, and McAllister's going to come out of the game.
I would tell you that Carl Albert has the deeper bench of the two, but it's Coach Hatchett going to his bench first. And he's bringing in two smaller guards. Well, one smaller guard from McAllister, so who's going to guard Jordan England? It may be Long, but Long gives up a little bit of size to England.
Ja'Kalen Godwin, Deshaun Long in for Veely, and McAllister just came out. Also seniors, of course, Godwin and Long. Driving the lane here is Foreman Felix. Can't get it to go. Rebound is knocked out of bounds. They're going to say Eagle ball right in front of the Carl Albert bench. Didn't like that call. And now we're going to get to see Tayshaun James for the first time.
It's interesting. Foreman Felix had a great left-handed layup a couple minutes ago. Then he attacks the same side of the floor, does not use his left hand those two times. So I don't know why he would go away from that.
Tayshaun James into the game, replacing Ryan Reynolds.
He's got a bit of size on Quincy Hopkins. It's basically a safety guarding a defensive lineman.
Garrison taking, I think, a long two here. Doesn't roll home. England, the board. Tayshaun James was guarding Foreman Felix there, by the way. That's a awesome matchup. A couple of future D1 football players in the Big 12. Right. Hopkins driving the lane and is fouled.
But it's also a size, not mismatch, but a definite size advantage for Del City.
Yeah. So Hopkins is going to go to the line and shoot two here at the Rose State charity stripe. Looking for a university experience while staying close to home. Look no further than Rose State College with over 60 degree options, on-campus housing, and transfer agreements with all the Oklahoma universities. Rose State College will jumpstart your college education. Apply today at rose.edu. First free throw for Hopkins is good. That's going to be a big storyline today. As I said earlier, both teams did not shoot it well at the line. It's really the only thing that neither team did well yesterday.
Also, the Hutch Russell coming in earlier than last game.
You didn't play it a lot last night in the win over Holland Hall. Split trip for Hopkins. It's a 2-point lead for the Titans. Eagles have the ball. Percy Green on the right wing. Feeds over to Foreman Felix. Guarded by James. Over to Godwin. Godwin underneath to Garrison, and Mott poked it away from him. It'll stay at this end.
Jaden Mott's post defense on Garrison's been good. He's trying to keep Garrison from catching the ball close to the basket, and so far he's been successful. Garrison, I think, needs to fight a little bit more for that post position.
Long fires it into Garrison. Had three Titans collapse on him, and it didn't matter. Brandon Garrison, too big, too strong, puts it home, and we're all square.
Big man finish.
Yeah, big time.
Three players tried to get to him. Even Mott, who's 6'7", and they couldn't do it.
Titans bring it down the floor with $1:50 to play in the first and a tie game. Hopkins, crossover move, thought about the long shot, but Garrison said don't do it. Mott now has it on the block. Kick out to James. He'll pull it for a long two. Back iron, no. Rebound comes out. Hopkins buys the Titans a second chance. Left side England. He'll take a transition, or not transition, but three ball, and it does not fall. Eagles going back the other way. Here's Foreman Felix on the right wing. To the top, Percy Green. Jab step once on Russell. Now he'll take it at him. Bounce pass out to Long in the corner to Garrison. Garrison sizing up Mott, starting to back him down a little bit. He'll have to give it up to Foreman Felix. Good job there by Mott, not really letting him have anywhere to go. Foreman Felix has his dribble knocked loose by James. A nice steal there by Tayshaun James.
Yeah, Foreman Felix did not have the space there to try to attack.
Titans back the other way. England down the lane, and shot won't fall, but he is hit and fouled, and Jordan England will go to the Rose State charity stripe. Titans are the team getting to the line. This will be the third trip there. Del City yet to do so.
And there's only one guard for Del City that has the size and the athleticism to match up with England, and that's coming in right now, McAllister, but he was out briefly.
58.4 seconds play in the first. England hits the first free throw to put the Titans back ahead by one.
Better free throw shooting so far, mainly for Carl Albert. I don't think Del City's been in the line yet.
Yeah, they haven't. 0 for 0 so far. Demarius Veely back in the game for Del City. As Titans lead by one, and England can make it two at the line here, and he does. Yeah, good start at the line. 4 for 5 for the Titans. We're just 50%, 12 of 24 in the win over Holland Hall. Eagles have it back here in the final minute of the first. Demarius Veely crossing half court. He's got Hutch Russell guarding him. Gives it over to Foreman Felix on the right wing with Jordan Mott in front of him. So now McAllister at the free throw line. He kicks out to Veely in the corner. Russell fell down, but Veely just takes it back out. Eagles might be holding for the final shot of the quarter here.
I think Crowder might let him. No Garrison in right now for Del City, so they're going to try to spread the floor.
20 seconds to play in the first. McAllister has it out near half court, checking with Coach Hatchett and his bench.
Good Tayshaun James Hutch Russell switch. James a quicker guy to guard against Veely.
Still holding it. Now he's going to start to move forward with 7 seconds. McAllister going to his right here. Hutch Russell on him. He'll kick it out to Foreman Felix. Jaden Foreman Felix will pull up at the elbow. Jumper at the buzzer. Won't roll home. Left off the front of the rim. And the Titans hang on to their lead at the end of the first. Titans 10, Eagles 8 in this 5A title game. Second quarter on the way next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Back at the Lloyd Noble Center, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray in the 5A state title game. Carl Albert in front of Del City 10-8 as you get ready to start or resume action here in the second quarter. Thank our second quarter sponsor, Super Stubs, home of the steak bomb sandwich. Locally owned and operated for over 20 years, 2150 South Douglas Boulevard in Midwest City. Give them a call at 405-733-5440. So Eagles will have the ball first here to start the second quarter. Good start to this one. Titans in front 10-8. High scorer is Jordan England with 5 points so far for the Titans. Here's Jaden Foreman-Felix. He'll find Green in the corner, but Hutch Russell coming over and taking a charge before the pass.
You know, in that case, Hutch Russell not being that tall probably helped. Foreman-Felix, I should say, did not see him when he was set there, and good charge there drawn by the Hutch.
That's the fifth foul on Del City. Titans have committed just one so far, so the foul game in favor of Carl Albert so far. Here's Hopkins. Lost the dribble for a moment, but he gets it back. He'll feed it out to James on the right wing. Behind the back dribble, now gets it over to Hutch Russell. Russell with Long guarding him close. He'll give it back out to James, and the Titans will reset. James figuring out where he wants to go. He's going to take it to his right and had it poked away. Long ends up with it after, I think it was Veely got a hand on it. Green's going to take it to the rim and finish, and he's hit on the arm. It'll be a three-point play opportunity for Percy Green.
Just a nice finish by Green. Hard to describe, but Hopkins was closing in on him. Hopkins could definitely block her shot from behind. Green did a good job stretching out his arms, kind of changing where he was going to release the ball, and that kind of fooled Hopkins there, who swung and hit the arm instead.
So Percy Green at the Rose State Cherry Stripe can give the Eagles the lead, and he does. So Green knocks it down, and Del City now in front by a point, 11-10, 7:18 to play here in the first half. England bringing it up, guarded by Long in the backcourt. And he does get it across before the 10-second call. Hopkins at the top.
So about 3 to 4 minutes of real-time rest for Brandon Garrison, and Del City actually gained ground.
Hopkins goes down the lane here, right hip floater over Garrison. It's not going to fall. Rebound loose and ends up in the hands of the big man. And Brandon Garrison kicks it over to Veely to bring it down the floor for the Eagles, up by one. Veely figuring out how he wants to attack, gets underneath to Garrison. Garrison, pump fake, now he'll spin on Mott. Hutch Russell comes over to help. Garrison picks up his dribble, will get it underneath to Long. Long pass out to the top. I don't know how he found his man. Three ball from Veely doesn't go. And the rebound for Hutch Russell, and the Titans have it going back to the way. Hopkins with it, guarded by Percy Green on the wing. Screen set by Russell. He'll pull up at the elbow. Hopkins, that won't roll home. Garrison, another rebound. He's starting to rack those up here in the early going, and now a bad foul really far from the basket on the Titans. It's going to go on Mott, I believe. Yeah, that's his first.
Yeah, only his first. Coach Hatchett looks like he wants a timeout.
13 foul, that last one on the Titans with 6:18 to play in the first half. Got a 30-second timeout here, so we'll stick. What are your thoughts so far here, Jordan? What stands out from the first, a little under 10 minutes or so?
Well, Carl Albert had 7 points pretty quickly because they were able to score in the mid-range. And that's kind of closed for them that well. That they got to keep going there, though, when Garrison's in. So that's one thing that, on that and one by Percy Green, that was a possession where Carl Albert turned it over. Garrison was not in the game. Hopkins wanted to try to get to the basket, and instead it led to a turnover and an and one for Percy Green. Garrison is now back in, and again, he's going to shut down because that's just what he does. Any effort from Carl Albert to get all the way to the basket, they have to instead get close to the basket but hit the floating jump shot or a mid-range jump shot from about 8 feet or a little more wider out. And that's Quincy Hopkins' forte, but he's been cold the last few trips.
Titans shooting just 30% from the field to this point. We'll see if they can ramp that up a little bit. Eagles have the basketball back here, up by one. 6:09 to play in the first half. Garrison finds Long in the corner, gets it back to Brandon Garrison. He'll pull it for a long two. Airball is short.
Oh,
that was an uncomfortable looking shot there, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be last touch by the Eagles.
Carl Albert going with a small lineup, which was okay. When I say small lineup, Mott and 4 guards, which was okay when Foreman Felix was not in the game, but he's coming back in now. So who's going to guard him next time Carl Albert is on defense? That would definitely be a matchup advantage for Del City.
England will walk it up for the Titans with McAllister back in and guarding him close. Mott has it to get it to Baker at the free throw line. Bounce pass out to Hopkins on the right wing. To the top, Casey Baker. Had that big 3 last night. Almost thought about shooting it there, but he gives it up to England. Jordan England will take it out toward the midcourt logo and reevaluate things. Going to his right. Now he'll spin. Bounce pass to the cutting Hopkins. Take it right to the rim. Right at Garrison. Almost finished it. But another rebound for Garrison. It was a good move by Hopkins, but not able to finish it off. Eagles have it back, still up by 1. Veely starts to drive. Little hesitation move. Goes to his right off a screen set by Garrison. Bounce pass over to him, and England came over and just poked it away. It'll go out of bounds and stay at this end.
Good hands by Jordan England. Again, that's risky. I mean, you got to take that risk. It could sometimes get called for a foul, but the refs say he got it clean.
Almost 3 minutes into this second quarter, the only points we've seen was that three-point play from Green. Other than that, nothing. Garrison in the corner for the Eagles. He'll take it toward Mott. Goes across the lane. Right-hand floater. Partially blocked. I couldn't tell if that was Mott who got a hand on it. Almost had to have been. Now it goes out of bounds. There's some discussion about whose ball it's going to be.
You got the sideline ref and the baseline ref.
They don't
know,
so
they'll call it jump ball. That's
Arrow
unusual.
favors Carl Albert. Yeah, you don't see that a lot. Titans thought it was their ball, so in their mind, they got jobbed to the arrow, essentially. So it'll go back over to the Titans.
Casey Baker switched on Foreman Felix. Foreman should have been like, hey, I got a mouse in the house and go post up, but he didn't do it there.
Final 5 of the first half here at the LNC, 5A title game. England crosses half court, guarded by Demarius Veely. He'll go toward his right. These possessions have felt very deliberate, as you might kind of expect a game of this magnitude, a title game. Hutch Russell step to his right, gives over to Hopkins. Left-hand pass over to England. Jab step once. On the elbow, McAllister hounding him from behind. A feed over to Russell, takes a really deep 3. Come up well short. McAllister was right in his face, helping force that miss.
Close to a foul, but not quite one.
The Eagles have it going back the other way again. Defense not allowing much on either side. Veely, nice move and a step back shot. The line doesn't go. England comes down with the board, and the Titans have it going back the other way once more.
You're right. The defenses are completely shutting each other down at the moment.
Almost halfway through this second quarter, and still that three-point play from Green is all the offense we've had. Now we have a whistle away from the ball. This one's going to go on Casey Baker, bowling over McAllister. That'll be the 4th foul on the Titans.
Calling an illegal screen. Ryan Reynolds will check back in.
He can probably help with the whole scoring thing.
And he's a better matchup for Jaden Foreman Felix, too.
Ryan Reynolds has had a very nice state tournament this week. Really shooting it well from deep. As we hit the midway point of the second quarter, Eagles still hanging on to a 1-point lead, 11-10. Foreman Felix right at the high post here. Rocket pass in the corner to McAllister. He thought about shooting. Instead, he'll take it down the lane. Right-hand shot won't go. Garrison rebound, stick back, no. Got his own miss, put back, no. McAllister tip back, and it goes. Eagles working on the offensive glass, and eventually they get one to fall. Now almost a turnover, and instead it's going to be a bad foul on McAllister here. That's going to be 2.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to, burn a foul early in the game.
It's a little bit of a gamble, yeah.
The first foul for McAllister was worse than that one, but that's the thing when he's placed with such high energy. Sometimes you will do that. You'll commit fouls in bunches. You'll get in foul trouble.
So McAllister's going to come out. Deshaun Long will replace him. Might be it for McAllister in the first half with the 2 fouls. We'll see how Coach Hatchett plays it. Back to the way here, Jordan England with the ball. He gives it to Baker, gives it right back.
He's got to take over.
He's got to be feeling good with McAllister out of the game. England will drive and pull it from just in front of the elbow. Didn't go. Rebound for the Eagles. Percy Green ahead to Veely. Veely spin move, kick out to Green in the corner. He'll go down the baseline. Pass over to Garrison off his hands. But they're going to say another charge here on the Eagles. Second time we've seen the passer get called for a charge as Green bowled over England. And it's another turnover.
England did what he should. He's got Long on him. That's a better matchup. Like you said, he's got to be relieved that it's not McAllister. And he got a good look, but they're just not coming up right now for Carl Albert, those mid-range jumpers.
Titans have still not yet scored in this quarter, but their defense has been good enough that the Eagles haven't been able to do much. They've got a little bit of a lead here, but obviously just 3. Hopkins with the ball for the Titans. Eventually we'll get it out to Ryan Reynolds. Reynolds left side to England, checking with Coach Price. He'll go to his left. Spin move, turnaround shot for England. The lefty knocks it down. That was a nice move and a nice shot by Jordan England.
Nice shot. Those are the shots that Carl Albert has to take and take with confidence because that's what they're going to need.
Cuts it down to a 1-point game, 2.5 to play in the first half. Veely off a screen set by Foreman Felix. To the top now, Foreman Felix with the ball. They're going to say he traveled.
He absolutely did.
Official right on it, and they'll give it back over to the Titans with a chance to retake the lead.
If it wasn't a travel, it may have been a double dribble.
So Titans will walk it up with a chance to jump back in front. They led 10-8 after 1. Currently down just a point here, 13-12. England bounce pass to Mott on the elbow, hands it off to Baker. Baker goes across, he'll pull it from the free throw line. Back iron, no. Another rebound for Garrison. That's 8 already for him.
Another good look for Carl Albert, just mid-range, not going.
And the Eagles bring it down the floor. Final 2 minutes of the first half here, 5-8 championship game. Veely left side to Deshaun Long with England guarding him. Hands off to Foreman Felix. Reynolds playing off him a little bit as he's a few steps back behind the three-point line. Now back up even further. Over to Green now. Green had it poked away, and we have a whistle and a foul here on Hopkins reaching in. That's going to be the last one to give for the Titans.
Looks like they have one more.
They update the board so fast here. It's tripped me up a few times. So that's actually just 5.
They're
I looked up
quick with
immediately.
Wiley checking in for Del City. We don't always see him in, but he can shoot threes. He may be the second best shooter from three-point range for this team. Maybe third behind Veely and then, of course, Percy Green.
Yep, as you said, Jalen Wiley in the game, senior, and DeKalen Godwin in as well. So Long and Veely come out. Only seniors have played for Del City as this really, really old Eagles team trying to cap their careers off for the championship. Final 90 seconds. Jaden Foreman Felix goes down the lane. Right-hand shot. I don't know if it was blocked or just nicely contested by Mott. Either way, a miss forced. And back the other way goes Jordan England. Nice ball movement down the lane here, but he can't quite finish it. And another rebound for the Eagles. Another missed chance for the Titans. Here's Godwin going flying down the floor. Circus layup doesn't go. Godwin there, though, for the easy stick back. And a bad foul on Casey Baker trying to go through his back. And a free throw coming up for Garrison.
Just a bad foul by Casey Baker. He had no chance at that play. He should not have been swinging there. Before that, we have been seeing tremendous defense on both fronts. Every shot's contested. That Jaden Foreman shot, not a bad attempt, but you had boxing out. Ryan Reynolds did a great job boxing out Garrison on that play. Led to an opportunity for Carl Albert, but they couldn't score because Del City was defending the rim so well.
Garrison hits the free throw to complete the three-point play, so the Eagles are back ahead by 4 as you hit the final minute here of the first half. Hopkins on the left side to England. England will take it right at Wiley. Goes 1-on-3 basically, and he's able to get a foul. Eagles not happy with the call.
At some point, the Titans are going to feel like no more of these mid-range shots. We got to take our chances getting all the way to the paint. And I kind of agree with Coach Hatchett. I didn't think Jordan England was really fouled by anyone. He just pulled his head down and got to the paint, but it worked. He drew the foul.
Did get the foul. It's the 8th one on the Eagles. Meanwhile, England shooting 2 here, and he misses the first one.
Well, in this game, with this defense for Del City, 50% from the free throw line won't cut it. And Carl Albert needs to consistently make 2 of 2 when they get to the line.
Another free throw on the way here for England. This one will go. Make it a 3-point game. First look of the day for Reed DeQuazy into the game for the Titans, and Tayshaun James in as well, as Reynolds and Baker both come out.
Now, this might be the most athletic lineup Carl Albert could put out there. A very good defensive lineup. I think the reason why we don't see more of Reed DeQuazy is because of offense, which he's not bad on offense. He just doesn't complement the other players as much.
Godwin gets it across half court for the Eagles, ahead to Wiley. Wiley goes across to the right side. Eagles could hope for the final shot here and take a lead with them to the locker room. We'll see how they play this. And it looks like they're in no big hurry here at all. England and DeQuazy still well off of Godwin. Now they'll pressure him a little bit. Gives it over to Wiley. Gives it right back to Godwin. Godwin to the wing to Foreman Felix. Back to Godwin. DeQuazy just ripped it away from him. Reed DeQuazy just picked his pocket. Now the Eagles have it, or Titans, excuse me, going back the other way. England can't hit the layup, but DeQuazy cleans it up. Look at him coming in and making an impact. Some time here still for the Eagles. Godwin has it poked away. England's got it. 3 seconds left to play in the half. England to the rim, and he's hit and fouled, and he's going to go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws to maybe put the Titans in the lead here right at the end of the first half.
Well, two things changed. And by the way, we've seen in this tournament, Del City twice and Carl Albert once really really try to play a lengthy half-court possession, and a lot of times it backfires on him. Our boss, Eric Sherem, hates that type of basketball. Understandable to do at the end of a half or a quarter, but it wasn't working for Del City because Carl Albert put in a more athletic lineup led by Reed DeQuazy, and he made an instant impact.
So Jordan England at the Rose State Cherry Stripe hits the first one, and we are all tied up. Felt like all the world that Del City was going to take a lead into half, and now they might actually be trailing.
Well, that's the pressure there, and that's one way Carl Albert can score. I haven't talked about it, probably should have. If they can force turnovers and get in transition, that's one way they can score. They can't score much in the half court right now.
Second free throw on the way for England is knocked down. Titans 7 for 9 at the free throw line. So a big step up there for them so far in this game from last night.
It's got to really irritate the Del City players. They may be trailing at halftime when they were in control for much of the second quarter.
Only 1.3 to work with here. A full court heat from Wiley, not a bad effort, but it comes up short. And that's the first half. Actually, what's going on here? There's some conversation. Teams didn't head back to the locker room. I'm not sure what exactly happened here. Officials are talking now. Now they're heading to the locker room. That was a strange little end of the half there. So at the end of two quarters, Carl Albert in front by a point. Kind of a slobber knocker first 16 minutes or so, but it results with the Titans ahead of the Eagles by 1. Take a break. We'll come back. Halftime report up next here from the Lloyd Noble Center. Titans ahead by 1. 5A title game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Welcome back to another fine Saturday morning here at the Johnson House, where the team at Champion Plumbing is about to perform one of their classic pipelining maneuvers. Watch their technique as they begin pouring in that epoxy.
Oh, wow. Didn't miss a drop. That, ladies and gentlemen, and why these guys are the champs.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
And welcome back to Mid-Dale State Championship Basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan right here joining you, and also joining us is one Miss Gina Standridge. Gina, how you doing? Oh, well, one more thing. Foolishly forgot your mic. Okay, go ahead. Start talking now.
I'm doing great.
Okay, sorry about that. We got you on the air now. Thank you so much for helping us get more and more playoff basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And you obviously have a close connection with Del City because that's where you've been teaching for all these years, correct?
That's correct. I taught there. I started in 1990. I graduated from Del City High School in 1984. I live in Del City, so, I've spent my whole life there.
And you have a special connection with some of the players on this team, right?
Yes, I do. Demarius Feely and I have spent a lot of time together over the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm pretty close to that boy, and I'm so proud of him.
And we're promoting you for Mid-Dale School Board Award 3. As we've mentioned many times, the votes on Tuesday, April 4th. You're in a runoff, and you have a little less than a month to go. But what makes you want to be on the Mid-Dale School Board?
Well, I've spent my life at Mid-Dale, and I retired from Mid-Dale, and I want to continue giving back. And I think that I can offer a new perspective on that board as a teacher who stayed in the classroom the whole time and stayed, grassroots working with students. I think I have a viewpoint that a lot of people don't have because I have firsthand knowledge of being in that classroom.
And what are some of the things that you want to bring when you get there? You think about how you're going to hit the job running?
Oh yeah, I want to make sure every student has an equal and equitable education. I want to move Mid-Dale forward. I want us to keep being known as a great school district for people to come and raise their kids.
Very good. And something new you want us to mention is that you have a meet and greet coming up a couple times later this month. What's the purpose of the meet and greet that we're going to show here on the screen?
Well, I want to get to know more community members, and I want them to be able to come out, feel comfortable with me, and start building that community relationship that I believe is so important for a school board member to have.
Oh, very good. All right, well, Gina, we really appreciate you again helping us put Mid-Dale playoff basketball, particularly Dale City playoff basketball on the network. Anything else I may not have mentioned or that I may have forgotten to mention here?
Go out and vote April 4th, Gina Standridge.
Absolutely. Gina, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more Mid-Dale State Championship basketball on the Oakland Sports Center. By the way, I want to mention that any advertisement we have for Gina is bought and paid for by Gina Standridge for the Mid-Dale Board of Education. And we'll be back after this.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we grew up under these lights, so we know what hard work and dedication really means. Because to us, being the best is about helping our community when they need us most. It's about giving our all on every play and every job. Being your hometown champs means being part of a team that succeeds together. So every time you call, you get nothing but our best. And that's what makes us Champion Plumbing.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Coast Technology Group is your full IT managed service provider, utilizing simple, reliable technology for your home and business. Remote monitoring and management, network infrastructure, and cybersecurity, all with 24/7, 365-day live support. When you partner with CTG, you get the 150 years combined experience of our experts, helping your business grow while keeping your systems secure.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Welcome back to the Lloyd Noble Center. Josh Calloway here with you. Jordan Ray alongside me at the Lloyd Noble Center. We're at halftime right now. The Del City Eagles in the Carl Albert Titans. Just about a minute away from getting the second half started. We'll recap the point totals for you in that first 16 minutes. High scores so far tonight. Jordan England with 10 points. Behind him, Quincy Hopkins has got 3. Jaden Mott with 2. Reed DeQuazy with 2. For the Eagles so far, high man is Brandon Garrison. He has 5. Jamor McAllister with 4. 3 points from Percy Green, 2 from Demarius Veely, and 2 from Jaden Foreman Felix. 30 seconds away from starting the second half here. Jordan, what stands out when looking back at that first half, and what's the key here? What's going to decide this thing in the second half of action?
You know, I got to say something about Reed DeQuazy. He comes in for, we got this to the second here, 54 seconds, and he makes stuff happen. You know, I think the reason we don't see more of him is just because Jaden Mott, Coach Price has more and more confidence in him, and he doesn't really like to play both at the same time. He thinks that's not – I'm only speculating. I shouldn't say what he thinks. I'm guessing he believes it's not the best offensive lineup. But he's someone who can impact the game on offense, just not from the perimeter as much as the other players that surround Jaden Mott. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets more touches now or more minutes now that he – helped this team go on a 5-0 run to end the first half. But the shooting obviously really bad for both teams because the defense makes it really tough. Del City's got to get to the free throw line more. I know it was an adventure for them last game, but they have to find a way to attack the paint. They still have, thanks to Garrison, thanks to Foreman Felix, a size advantage matchup at those positions.
So here we go in the third quarter. In the 5A title game, second half is off and running. Del City with the ball first. They're going right to left from our vantage point here courtside at the LNC. Percy Green with the ball here. Bounce pass to Garrison. Turnaround shot for the big man. Won't roll home. Rebound skied for and pulled down by Hopkins. And the Titans have it back going the other way. Hopkins down the lane here. Feeds it off to Ryan Reynolds. He'll back it out, and the Titans will reset some things. Good job by the Eagles there racing back to stop that fast break for Del City. Or for the Carl Albert, I should say. Baker with it, bounce pass to Mott. Garrison poked it away. Mott able to run it back and save it. England holding the ball, figuring out how he wants to attack this Del City defense. Like I said earlier, every possession, very deliberate, feels really important. Baker pulls up from the free throw line. He's got it. Casey Baker, a little mid-range jumper, his first points of the night, and the Titans are up by 3.
Really good shot because Feely fell down, so that's about as open a look as you'll get. Good
McAllister
shot.
down the lane here has his shot blocked. And it'll be knocked out of bounds and stay with the Eagles. Somewhat quietly, I guess. A little 7-0 run here for Carl Albert.
Yeah. McAllister not the most skilled player on offense, so he goes left. He probably should try to finish left, but he went with his right hand and got blocked.
Bounce pass out from McAllister to Foreman Felix. He gives up to Green. Green on the elbow, back out to Garrison. Right side Foreman Felix, guarded by Ryan Reynolds. He'll go down to his left. Here at the free throw line, between the legs dribble. Gives it over to Veely on the left. Veely with Baker guarding him close. He'll give it over to Jamori McAllister. McAllister, he'll take it right down the lane here. A lot of contact in very Jamori McAllister fashion. Hits the ground hard.
I don't know if it's a drama king or just how he plays recklessly. That he gets the force.
A little of both.
But here's the deal. Mott, the way if he just stayed vertical, probably would have avoided that foul, although they're not calling him the act of shooting.
Yeah, they're not giving him the shots. It is a foul on the Titans, but on the floor. First one on Carl Albert, second one on Jaden Mott. So keep an eye on that. Veely gets into Foreman Felix as Del City resumes this possession. Backing down Ryan Reynolds. Foreman Felix right to the rim. Can't get it to go, but he draws contact and a foul. That was just Foreman Felix being a big, strong man because he just backed his way down all the way to the rim.
Now Ryan Reynolds, has the height to match up with Foreman, but he definitely gives up a few pounds of muscle. And Foreman can back him up if he needs to.
So at the Rose State charity stripe, first one will roll home. By the way, it struck me, I meant to mention at halftime, neither team's hit a three. Both 0 for 2 from deep. We've had no Bobby Lewis three balls in this game so far.
Yeah, I mean,
only a matter of time.
Percy Green's the guy that needs to step up and get it open for Del City. There's McAllister making hay.
Yeah, second free throw doesn't go. McAllister fighting for the board, though. I think they're going to get a foul on him. That's going to be 3 on Jamori McAllister, so that's certainly noteworthy. The impact he has, especially on the defensive end for Del City, is very obvious when you watch him play, but he's going to have to come out. Long will replace him.
Long has done a solid job guarding Jordan England. I still think that's a matchup England needs to attack, but Long has held his own.
Titans by 2, 6:15 to play in the third. We'll see how long Coach Lenny Hatchett keeps McAllister on the bench. How the game goes might dictate that. McAllister has left side Ryan Reynolds at the top here. Goes to his right, feeds it in the corner to Baker. Baker guarded by Veely. Left-hand pass to Mott. Mott right side to Casey Baker. Veely guarding him. Trying to get it to England. He will now get it to England. Pass too high. Goes off his hands and out of bounds. They're going to say it's Carl Albert ball. I thought that went off of England's hand, no?
Coach Price wants a foul called. Hatchett wants the ball. They both have a point.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out of bounds off Del City. It's either a foul or it's out of bounds off Carl Albert, but that's not the call.
I thought it went off England's hand, but yeah, you're right. There could have been a foul called there as well, so both coaches with a legitimate gripe. Hopkins going to drive on Garrison. Rocket pass in the corner to Reynolds for 3. Clackums! There's your Bobby Lewis 3-ball, Ryan Reynolds. Man, you give him any room, he's going to hit. Bobby Lewis Insurance, surprisingly great rates for 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and Del City. Finally get him in there in this title game. Percy Green trying to do the same, but he left it short. Pulled in by England. Titans by 5, and they have the ball. Momentum right now with Carl Albert. Got to say, Hopkins on the elbow. Lost his moment, now he gets it back. Gives it to the top, England. He'll walk into an open 3. Clackums! Jordan England, back-to-back threes, and just like that, Carl Albert leads by 8. Big shots. Other way, here's Veely down the lane. Spin move, and he got hit on the head. Shot didn't go, but he will go to the line. So more free throws here coming for the Eagles.
Well, when they missed the second one, Foreman missed the second free throw a minute or two ago. That led to the foul on McAllister. Bad things happen when you miss free throws sometimes beyond just not getting the points. So real important for Del City. Now they're in a situation where they got to make both.
And Veely just missed the first one.
They're not doing it.
How do you like for Carl Albert, what is that, about a 30% point increase in 2 possessions on back-to-back threes? James back in for Carl Albert. He replaces Baker.
The second 3 from Jordan England was because of an offensive breakdown that makes it harder to get your assignments on defense, and they left him open.
Veely misses them both, but the long rebound goes out of bounds. It will actually stay with Del City as Hopkins and Mott couldn't quite corral it. So Eagles are going to get a kind of a stolen possession here. And Coach Lenny Hatchett wants to talk about things. He takes a timeout with 4:57 to play in the third. It's a full. We'll go ahead and take it 2. Titans with the momentum. Eagles trying to get back in this thing. Down 8 in the state title game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
Back to the Lloyd Noble Center. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. As we get back to it, want to make sure we thank our third quarter sponsor, Dynamic Health Clinic in Harrah, Oklahoma. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries, is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better, recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. As Del City with the basketball here, down by 8. A little bit of a run here from the Titans has got their biggest lead. Turnaround shot here for Long in the lane won't go. That was heavily contested as Titans were all over him there, and the Titans have it back and can take a double-digit lead here with a bucket.
I think Garrison needs to shoot that. He got the ball in the post, but he just doesn't have confidence in his post-up right now.
Mott bounce pass to the cutting Hopkins, and he gets his arms hit by Deshaun Long, and I don't know if they're going to give him shots here or not. It's going to be a foul on Long, and they are going to give him shots. So to the Rose State charity stripe goes Quincy Hopkins here, and he can do what I just mentioned a moment ago, which is give Carl Albert a double-digit lead here if he hits them both.
Got a screen from James, and that forced a switch, but it gave Quincy Hopkins a good driving lane there.
Misses the first one, does Hopkins. Team shot free throws pretty well in the first half after the tough night last night, but second half has been reverting back a little bit. Both teams are leaving some points out there.
It's a big problem right now for the Eagles.
Hopkins' second one rattles out and then back in. So it's a 9-point lead for Carl Albert. Del City needs offense. I think that goes without saying. We'll see where they go for it here. Jaden Foreman-Felix has it on the left wing, guarded by Reynolds. He goes to his right. In the corner, Percy Green with Hopkins guarding him. To the top, Demarius Veely. Tayshaun James guarding him close. As we approach the midway point of the third, crossover move from Veely. Goes to his left. James so good on defense is Tayshaun James. Guarding him real tight. Underneath to Garrison. Kick back out to Veely. Veely goes down to Garrison. Working on Mott. The big man matchup. Mott here. England came over to help, but he's going to get charged for the foul. Yeah. And Garrison's going to shoot free throws, and Jordan England's going to get dinged for his second foul.
So Jordan England came to double team, and as he did, Garrison just turned into him. I don't know if that was kind of the idea, but that was a really good job of drawing a foul there by using the double team to your advantage. Can they make free throws? They make the first.
Garrison knocks down the first one, like you said, at the Rose State charity stripe. Brennan Garrison with 6 points and 9 rebounds so far tonight. England is still your high scorer. He's got 13. Garrison missed the second one. Yeah, he's got several blocks. Yeah, he's been very active on the defensive side. Second free throw didn't fall, like I said, so England gets the board, and the Titans bring it down the floor up by 8. Here's Jaden Mott on the right wing, right in front of us here at the Lloyd Noble Center, guarded by Garrison. To the top, England pump fakes a three, now he'll drive. Taking to the rim, England scoop layup attempt, no good. Hopkins there, though, for the cleanup putback. Titans by 10.
That's one way to score, is if you could draw Garrison too, you miss the shot, but who's going to box out Garrison's man? In that case, it was Hopkins, and no one boxed him out.
And here comes Jamore McAllister set to check back in. Meanwhile, Foreman-Felix shot won't fall. I think that might have been a long two. Doesn't matter, didn't go. Rebound England, start the break for the Titans. Down the floor, big collision with England and Green,
Offensive,
and it's going to go on England. Yeah, that's going to be 3 now on Jordan England.
Well, that's one of the keys to the game I had of the two marquee players. England for Carl Albert, Garrison for Del City. Which one can stay out of foul trouble, or will both of them be able to?
Garrison, no fouls right now.
Two quick fouls on England. They'll keep him in. Again, that's a gamble that Coach Price made yesterday.
It paid off. And McAllister back in for Del City. I said the game might dictate how quickly we see him. Well, down 10, they're putting him back in. Percy Green here on the elbow. In the corner, 3-ball for DeKalen Godwin, and he's hit on the shot by James. It's going to be 3 free throws coming for DeKalen Godwin. And these are big free throws.
Yeah, I know. We're just in the third quarter, but you're right, because Del City's had a massive offensive problem since they were up 16-12, I think.
16-12, yeah.
And the end of the second quarter. They have not hit a field goal this third quarter yet.
Del City had 8 in the first quarter, just 10 in the roughly 13 minutes since then. First free throw, good for Godwin at the Rose State charity stripe. Gets it back down to single figures at 28-19. Second one will bounce off the back iron. On the floor for the Titans, Hopkins, England, Mott, James, and Reynolds. For the Eagles, Garrison, Foreman-Felix, Green, McAllister, and then Godwin shooting the free throws. Third one, I should say, is good. So it's a 2 for 3 for Godwin. And the Eagles are down 8, 28-20. England bringing it down the floor for Carl Albert, with Jamore McAllister guarding him. Bounce pass over to Hopkins, excuse me. Hopkins gives it over to England. England gives it right back to him. And
check.
That's going to be a foul on McAllister, and that's his 4th.
Just got to adjust to not having, or being in foul trouble. His hands were on him. That doesn't always get called, but It's technically a foul.
So Coach Hatchett took a chance, getting McAllister back in with 3 fouls, and he pretty quickly picks up that 4th one. He's going to have to come out for a little while now. Deshaun Long will replace him. The foul game can get you beat. We've seen it, and especially in these state tournament games. You highlighted before the game, the foul game, and so far that's benefiting Carl Albert. Pass here goes between the legs of Tayshawn James. Eagles get the ball back, and they're racing down the floor here. Down just 8, 2:20 to play in the 3rd. Percy Green in the corner. Jab step once, now he'll drive. He'll kick it over to Godwin on the left wing. Godwin at the top, hands off to Green. Green with Hopkins guarding him close. Gives over left side Godwin. Bounce pass to Garrison on the block. Garrison backing down. Jaden Mott goes across, turnaround right hand shot, good. Nice move and a nice shot by Brandon Garrison. A little 4-0 run for the Eagles. They're only down now 6.
It needs to be Brandon Garrison time for Del City. Let's see if he keeps it going.
Hopkins at the elbow here, picks up his dribble, pass looking for the cutting James. It's poked away. Get on the floor to Kalen Godwin. Pass it over to Garrison. Eagles start the break. Percy Green on the wing here. Goes to his left, pull up from the elbow. Percy Green, cash money. Nothing but net. 6-0 run for Del City, and it's a 4-point game. Titans are going to take a timeout here. England got hit either in the gut or below the belt. Not able to tell. But he is grimacing as the Eagles, they really needed a run, and they got one here. A 6-0 burst to pull within 4. I'm not sure Carl Albert actually took a timeout here, if they're just stopping it for a moment to get England some assistance.
Garrison's upset about something. I don't know what it could be.
Now they are saying a timeout for Carl Albert, 30-second timeout.
Coach Hatch doesn't want Garrison to worry about it anymore, but I wonder what he was advocating for. For Carl Albert, they were they have a mismatch, and it's something I thought about. If they ever put Tayshawn James in for Casey Baker, Del City's going to have a small guard on either Jordan England or James. They put him on James, that being DeKalen Godwin. Now, that's a size advantage for Carl Albert, unlike when James was guarding Jaden Foreman-Felix. Carl Albert was trying to post him up, and that's a good idea, but the execution has just been bad. They have not been able to get him a good look. They have to try to find a way to get the ball to a wing and clear out space for him. I personally would not go away from that idea. That's a good idea to post up Tayshawn James guarded by Godwin, but you have to execute by having your 4 other players in the right spots. And instead what you saw was they were just cluttered. Jaden Mott tried to make a difficult pass that went between his legs on those sequences, and that's how Del City's been forcing turnovers, leading to some good offense for him.
So Titans have it back, up by 4. Momentum back with Del City for the first time in quite a while. Carl Albert really has controlled things for the last couple of quarters. But Del City pulls it back within 4. England feeds it down to Mott here. Going to work on Garrison on the baseline. Brandon Garrison hounding him. Mott shot doesn't go, but Reynolds skies him with a putback. It didn't fall. And Garrison gets the board. He's now in double figures in the rebounding game.
That was unbelievable defense on Garrison forcing that miss. Mott made every good move he could, and he couldn't free himself of Brandon Garrison. Then Reynolds missed the putback. Del City got the ball.
DeKalen Godwin walks into a 3 for the Eagles. It won't go. A little too much. Rebound to Mott. And the Titans have it back up by 4 with 42 seconds to play in the 3rd.
And we can hear Coach Price say, hold it.
Yeah, get that final shot of the quarter. Take a lead to the 4th if you can. England gives over to Hopkins. That shot from Godwin would have been huge. It would have been a 9-0 run in a 1-point game, but it didn't go. England guarded by Godwin. Goes to his right. He's going to go down the lane here. Now he'll back it out. Like you said, Titans hoping to take the final shot here of the quarter. Carl Albert in the bonus, by the way. Or Del City, excuse me, in the bonus. Carl Albert with 6 fouls. So we're keeping an eye on there moving into the 4th. Mott on the elbow. Bounce pass looking for James. Wide of the mark. He saved it, but Foreman-Felix now has it. Just a couple seconds. He'll go ahead and fire a full court heave. And it won't go. And that's going to end the 3rd quarter. Interesting ball game right now, but it's close, and we're going to the 4th. 28-24. Carl Albert in the lead. 4th quarter of the 5A title game on the way next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We want to make your next event an adventure. At Inflatable Adventures, we want to make your next event hassle-free by providing incredible products at a great price, along with amazing customer service. We offer one of the widest selections of bounce houses, water slides, obstacle courses, and so much more. Give us a call today or check us out online at inflatableadventures.org. Remember, Inflatable Adventures, the only inflation worth paying for.
All right, back to the Lloyd Noble Center. Josh Calloway, Jordan ready for the fourth quarter from the 5A title game. Final quarter of the season, Jordan, you ready?
I'm ready. Maybe we'll have some extra basketball.
It's very quite possible with these two teams. We want to make sure to thank our fourth quarter sponsors to get ready to get back to action here. La Herencia Grill for the best Mexican food in the Mid-Del area, whether it's dining, carry out, using Grubhub or catering. Just eat their delicious food. 6811 Southeast 15th Street. Check them out right next to Jimmy's Egg. Or give them a call at 405-931-3154. 10-8 Carl Albert after 1, 17-16 Carl Albert after 2, 28-24 Titans as we start the fourth. First possession here is with Carl Albert, and Garrison knocks it out of bounds away from Mott. It'll stay with the Titans.
Yeah, took a good gamble on that steal. Garrison with no fouls. He needs to, not that he needs to get fouls, but he can afford to be really aggressive here on both ends.
Carl Albert, 16 fouls. Del City just 3. And as I said, we have whistles here as James and Veely go down. The foul's going to be on Veely.
The execution again has been bad. At the end of the third quarter, they tried to make a post-entry pass to James they had no business making because they were on the wrong side was Mott. But they're still trying to feed it to him. He drew a foul there on Veely, I believe. And so now he's been guarded by Long. Still a matchup advantage for James.
It was the foul on Veely. That's the 14th foul. Ball is loose here out the inbound, and eventually will go out of bounds in the corner. Last touch by the Titans. That was kind of a frenetic little sequence there. So Eagles get it back, down by 4. They're still riding that 6-0 run.
Yep.
Godwin back in for the Eagles. He replaces Long.
Well, now that's even, again, Godwin or Veely have to defend against James. Can Carl Albert execute on that advantage, or will they go somewhere else?
Veely bounced pass to Foreman Felix. Right about the right wing. Thought about shooting it. Said he rockets it over to Godwin. Godwin down to Garrison. Garrison backing down on Jaden Mott. Bounce pass to Godwin. Floaters up. Rattles in and out. It was halfway down. Rebound knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay at this end with the Eagles. But that was a great find by Garrison. We talk all the time about how good of a passer he is. That was a really nice dish, but Godwin's shot just wouldn't fall.
Yep. Sure, probably should have tried to use the backboard. Now DeQuazy will come in with Mott on the floor. Not often you see that lineup for Carl Albert, but I like it. It's a good defensive lineup. This is the most athletic lineup Carl Albert could have.
DeQuazy replaces Reynolds, like you said there. Now Garrison backing down Mott, and he draws another foul. And that's going to be free throws now. That's the 7th on the Titans. So here comes that free throw. We talked about it last night. It might be the make or break here, and Del City's going to have some big free throws here down the stretch of this game, and a big 1-1 coming here.
Yeah, but Brandon Garrison, you're a McDonald's All-American. Free throws need to come with it.
1-1 for Garrison. He knocks it down. Eagles are back within one score at 28-25. Both teams have shot the free throws a lot better tonight. Eagles 7 for 12, Titans 8 for 11.
At what point will McAllister come in? Can he play effectively with 4 fouls?
Garrison misses the second one. Off the front of the rim, James rips down the board. Titans still clinging to a 3-point lead. 7-0 run for the Eagles going back to the third quarter. England crosses half court with Godwin guarding him close. Jamori McAllister still on the bench with the 4 fouls. England going to his right. Gets it back on top to DeQuazy. DeQuazy underneath to James. James backing down on Long. Garrison blocked his shot. And then James bumps Long after he corralled the block. And now here comes another 1-1 for Del City for Deshaun Long.
Again, that time they got the ball to James, but James should know any post-up advantage Carl Albert has, Garrison's going to come help.
I'm ready to see
You're not going to post up Garrison, obviously. Well, you might some with Jaden Mott because he had 1 shot on him. But otherwise, you're going to post up someone else. Garrison's going to go help. You got to be ready for that.
I'll be
Carl
looking
Albert.
at the block numbers for Garrison, the final box score, because he has disrupted shots all night long. Big 1-1 again here for the Eagles, this time for Long, and the first one rolls home at the Rose State Charity Stripe. Eagles just continuing to inch closer here, now a 2-point game.
And they've made some free throws. They made enough to inch closer. They've had trouble making 2 of 2 on one trip. I don't think they've done that yet, but they've scattered them enough. There's the first. That's the first time they've gone 2 for 2.
Knock it down. And we are all tied in the 5A championship game with 6:40 to go. 1-point game, excuse me. Got ahead of myself. 28-27. Titans with the ball here. DeQuasi fires over to Mott. To the top, James, and Titans will reset some things. 1-point lead for Carl Albert, 6:30 to play. Hopkins goes to his right, down Foreman Felix. Feeds it off to Mott. Mott to the rim.
Oh,
and the dunk!
Man!
Highlight of the season comes in the title game, and the foul for Jaden Mott. A thunderous slam at the LNC.
Jaden Mott can watch Brandon Garrison play the McDonald's All-American game and at Oklahoma State next year and say, hey, I got him on one. Now, it wasn't all over Garrison. Garrison got there late, but it's still a foul on Garrison. And that is the best play Jaden Mott's ever made. He didn't care that Garrison was right there. He knows he's 6'7" and athletic. He's going to go get his.
Made Blake Griffin proud on that dunk here at the Lloyd Noble Center.
Yeah.
Mott completes the 3-point play to put the cherry on top. Titans back ahead by 4. I'm in awe about that one a little bit. Still a little starstruck. Crossing half court here is Godwin, 6:13 to play in the fourth. Godwin bounce pass to Long on the left wing, guarded by England. To the top, Foreman Felix. He's got DeQuasi on him. Right side, Percy Green with Hopkins guarding him. Underneath to Garrison in the corner. Garrison backing down on Mott. McDonald's All-American takes it right to the rim, and the turnaround shot is good. Brandon Garrison feeling like he's getting close to kind of going takeover mode a little bit. Pulls the Eagles back within 2.
I love seeing these two bigs go at it, Josh.
Great. It's great. England on the right side takes a double team. Bounce pass to Mott in the corner. Gets it to DeQuasi on the block. Turnaround shot for DeQuasi won't go. Green pulls down the board. Eagles have it back down 2. Godwin racing ahead all the way to the rim. Circus layup attempt won't roll home. Garrison tip back, no. Got his own miss. That one will go. We're tied at 31.
McDonald's All-American. Last game ever at Del City.
Double-double for Brandon Garrison, 11 and 10 on that last bucket. Hopkins on the right wing as we near the final 5 from the Lloyd Noble Center. Crowd is lively. Hopkins crossover move, pulls up from the elbow. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound is loose. Pulled in by Green. Eagles have it back and can now take the lead.
We'll see if Coach Price goes with a more offensive lineup at some point.
And Del City wants a timeout. Coach Lenny Hatchett going to talk things over. 4:53 to go. Catch your breath. Settle in. Going to be a heck of a finish here in the 5A title game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American Airman, kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Back at the Lloyd Noble Center, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray in the 5A state championship game. Del City 31, Carl Albert 31. We got 4:53 to play. It's been an incredible second half of action. Del City was down by as much as 10, but they've rallied to tie it up, and they have the basketball as we get ready to get back to action here. Still no Jamori McAllister in for the Eagles with the 4 fouls. Coach Lenny Hatchett keeping him on the sidelines for now.
And Coach Price is sticking with DeQuasi instead of bringing in someone like Ryan Reynolds for shooting.
Godwin bounce pass in the corner to Deshaun Long. Every possession monumental at this point. Brandon Garrison with it, picks up his dribble. He'll get it out to Godwin in the corner, who gives it right back. Garrison backing down Jaden Mott. These two bigs have been going toe-to-toe in this second half. Garrison will back it out now. He'll give it over to Percy Green. Open three ball for Percy Green. Front of the rim, no good. Rebound is loose. Pulled in, Foreman Felix. Put back, no, but guess what? Brandon Garrison is dominating. Puts another one home.
And Foreman got that over to Quasi. That's no easy task. DeQuasy's in there to keep Foreman off the glass. Del City with a lead.
Quincy Hopkins down the lane. And
on the floor, or is it
foul
timeout?
Here. Timeout by the Titans. It's another full with 4:05 left. My goodness. You want to take a break, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's take one.
Let's go ahead and take a break. 4:05 to go. 33-31 Eagles, 5A title game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we grew up under these lights, so we know what hard work and dedication really means. Because to us, being the best is about helping our community when they need us most. It's about giving our all on every play and every job. Being your hometown champs means being part of a team that succeeds together. So every time you call, you get nothing but our best. And that's what makes us Champion Plumbing.
Back to Lloyd Noble Center, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, 33-31, Eagles lead, 4:05 to go.
Carl Albert going back with her starting lineup, bringing in Casey Baker as well as Ryan Reynolds. Probably better offensive lineup.
Brandon Garrison, the way he's dominating the boards right now, very reminiscent to when Del City was down big against El Reno in the area. He just took over that second half. Very similar feel right now. It's hit the midway point of the fourth. Titans with the ball down 2. Bounce pass here to Casey Baker on the wing. Guarded by Deshaun Long. Baker gives it over to Hopkins at the top. Hopkins over to Ryan Reynolds. Reynolds over to England in the corner. Jordan England, spin move. Up and under shot. Lost it. Pulled in by Jaden Mott. I don't know if it counts as a rebound. I'm not sure if that was really a shot from England. Pass out to Baker. Crosser move on Green. Feeds it to Mott. And he is fouled.
Is that on McAllister?
McAllister just back in, and he might have picked up that fifth. We're seeing it is. Wow. And Warren McAllister, his career has come to an end for Del City as he fouls out of this state title game.
You know, it's interesting, this game very much up in the air. When we see players foul out at girls basketball, that player will always go shake the hand of the opposing coach. But you don't see it in boys basketball. It's an interesting contrast. Coach Hatch is going to take his time. He has time, obviously, to make the sub for McAllister. Probably see Veely or Godwin back. It'll be Godwin, interestingly enough. So, again, you're going to have a smaller guy on Jordan England. There'll be Deshaun Long guarding him. It has not been a bad matchup, actually, for Del City. But, man, they're going to miss McAllister in so many ways.
Absolutely. Titans with the ball. Here's England in the corner. Thought about the three. Instead, he'll drive. Almost a step back shot. Feeds over to Mott, going right at Garrison. Spin move for Mott. Garrison all over him. Pass out is deflected and stolen by Foreman Felix. Great defense by Garrison and then Foreman Felix to pick it off.
Because Mott would have shot that over anyone else in high school basketball.
Yep. Godwin crossover move on England. Bounce pass over to Deshaun Long. Long has it poked away. It's loose. Saved by Long. Kick out Foreman Felix. Almost fired the open three, but Garrison told him not to. And the Eagles will use more clock. Final 3 minutes. Green on the wing here feeds it back to Foreman Felix. Eagles taking their time. Crossover move here. Kick out in the corner. Open three. All alone to Deshaun Long. Left it short. Rebound is loose. Saved by England. It goes out of bounds before he can get it. And it's going to stay with the Eagles.
So Veely will check in. And this thing is for Long, so they're going to have a really small guard on England next possession. But Veely, better offensive player. And now Carl Albert will, interesting enough, go back with a defensive lineup, even though, because Del City still has the ball, I forget. So they're going to go with their defense for offense sub. Del City went with an offensive sub.
DeQuazy, Tayshawn James back in for Reynolds and Baker, as you're alluding to there. Garrison with it on the elbow. Goes right in Mott. Turnaround shot, too much on it. Rebound ripped down by England. They're going to say him and Godwin get tied up, and the arrow's going to actually keep it with Del City again.
I say because Godwin did not have his hands on that ball for very long.
No.
That was a pretty quick whistle for a jump ball.
I was just about to say, what an Incredible rebound by England, skying for that and ripping it down, but they give him the tie-up, and the arrow keeps it with the Eagles again, up by 2. This is possession extended multiple times for Del City. Carl Albert got to be pulling their hair out right now. Can't get the ball back. Godwin bounced past it. Garrison working on Mott again. He's going to take it right at him. Up and under move. It won't roll home. Ball is loose. England now has it for the Titans. Foreman Felix reaches in, and that's going to be a foul.
That's a bad foul.
On Jaden Foreman Felix, and now here comes a 1-on-1 for Jordan England way back on the other end.
See, what happens is there's such frustration on the part of the Del City players that shot didn't go in. It was a great move from Garrison. It did everything but go in.
It rolled around for 2-3 full seconds, it felt like.
And that leads to frustration fouls. Carl Albert gets the defensive rebound, and Foreman Felix just should not have reached in there. And you're sending Jordan England to the free throw line. Carl Albert's had a hard time scoring right now, and you're going to send him to the free throw line, making it a lot easier.
1-1 for Jordan England at the Rose State Charity Stripe. Knocks down the first. Clutch free throws from the senior point guard. Brandon Garrison, by the way, I'm kind of just marveling. Just one foul this late in the game. He has had a really nice night. Second free throw to try and tie the game for Jordan England. Knocks it down. And we're tied up 33 apiece. 2:20 to play at the Lloyd Noble Center.
So I don't think Del City will hold for the last shot, but they are going to be deliberate. Try to get a good shot. If they have to wait a while, they will.
2:10 to go. Velu's going to take it right at James here. Now he'll back it out. Tayshaun James harassing him. Crossover move for Veely, trying to get around him, and he does. At the free throw line, kick out in the corner. Foreman Felix might have shot that if the pass was a little better. It was kind of low. He gives it back out to Veely, and Del City reset some things as we're into the final 2 minutes now. Veely on the wing, showing off the handles a little bit. Gives over to Garrison. $1:45 now to go. You think Del City can hold this thing all the way down for the final shot?
I don't. But they will hold it. They'll get some more time off the clock for sure.
No shot clock. You could, theoretically.
Theoretically, I think Carl Albert will make it really hard.
Final 90 seconds. Veely is guarded by Tayshaun James. He poked away, but Veely got it back.
You're right there. Almost a turnover because of Tayshaun James. That's the hard part about holding the ball for so long.
And now a 5-second call. Tayshaun James, just incredible defense. Veely had nowhere to go, and eventually they get him on the 5 seconds. Got to get rid of it, got to do something. And they get him.
Now Del City's got to defend without McAllister.
1:20 to go, and the Titans have it back in a tie game, 33 apiece. Do they hold for the final shot? Certainly could. Crossing half court, here is England with Godwin defending him. And the pass, he was looking for Hopkins, but he cut toward the basket, and there was nobody home. It went right out of bounds. Big miscommunication there.
More defense for offense. We've seen Coach Price has had the opportunity to make that sub with every change of possession because there's been a dead ball. Coach Hatchett not electing for a timeout yet, or is he?
Jay Price wants one. Carl Albert is going to take a timeout here with 1:06 to go. It is a full timeout.
Let's talk shop here.
I mean, I feel like you almost have to hold the final shot if you're Del City at this point with 1:06 if you can.
Yeah,
if you can.
If you have to try, but you see where it's a problem. That 5 seconds on Demarius Feely, for example. That's the hard part with holding. If you're not used to it, defense will start tightening up. You can't just dribble the ball around. And again, it's a really good defensive lineup for Carl Albert. I can't begin to tell you how athletic it is and how much size it has from top to bottom. And it's going to be hard to just pass the ball around. And Del City has tried that the last 2 games with mixed success, but their defense was so good, it didn't matter. In this game, their defense is still really good, but their offense has had a harder time. It's no question Carl Albert, the best defensive team Del City's seen in these playoffs, and that's why we have this low score. So for the Eagles, if they will let you, if you can dribble the ball near the timeline, whichever guard has it might need to be Garrison doing it actually, then you can dribble the clock out if the Carl Albert defender does not force a 5 count on you. But if they're going to force a 5 count, I would go ahead and try to work the ball to Garrison for a shot. That's just me. If Carl Albert's going to show they're going to try to force a 5 count, meaning they will play tight on whoever the ball handler is for Del City.
Feels like got to get to Brandon Garrison somehow, that's for sure. Number 1 player in Oklahoma, senior, final game. He's been the best player on the floor in this game. 15 and 14 for the future Cowboy.
Last year, in the end of the regular season, Damaris Feely hit the game-winning shot against Carl Albert by holding for the last shot.
Final minute here. Damaris Feely with the ball for the Eagles, being hounded by James again. He gives over to Percy Green this time. 50 seconds. Eagles are going to work this down as much as they can. Green being hounded on the timeline here. We have whistles.
Timeout.
And Coach Hatchett didn't like the way things were looking, and he takes a timeout with 44.6 seconds to go.
They may be out now. But did you see how?
Board says he had 2, but we'll see.
Okay.
It's another full.
Well, there you see it. I mean, and it may be worth, definitely if you have an extra timeout to use it there, because what ends up happening, as we have some of our own clock issues, what ends up happening is you get the ball in the wing, Percy Green has it, he has to pick up his dribble. No one gets open. No one was open for Del City because, again, Carl Albert's going to make you have a hard time stalling there, and that's to Jay Price and Carl Albert's credit. Don't let the other team hold for the last shot if you have athletes on the floor. So what does Del City do? I think you have to attack early.
44.6 seconds, all that is left in this 5A title game, but we very well might need some more. We'll find out what happens over the next 45 seconds or so here as we get ready to get back to action. It's been a tremendous game. Everything you could hope for to close out the regular season, or not the regular season, the season here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Glad you found us however you did. You're not going to want to go anywhere. We're going to have a heck of a finish here brewing on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Well, some team is going to be dejected.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a gut punch for someone.
They're going to think that they had multiple opportunities to win, and they'd be right.
On the floor for the Eagles, Foreman Felix doing the inbound. Veely, Godwin, Garrison, Green for the Titans. James, England, DeQuazy, Mott, and Hopkins.
Whoa.
Garrison gets off the inbound. He spins on Mott. He's going to take it right at him. Now kicks out to Godwin. Del City's going to work more clock. Garrison maybe could have put that up, but he said, let's go ahead and work more clock. It would have been a 1-and-1 if that's the case for Garrison, but no call. Godwin has it, almost lost out of bounds. 25 seconds here for the Eagles. Reed DeQuazy guarding him. Bounce pass over to Veely. Almost stolen by James. They are playing really nice defense here. Veely gets around him. Bounce pass to Godwin. Now back to Veely. 15 seconds. Del City's looking to take a shot to give themselves a state title. 10 seconds. Demarius Veely goes to his left. James guarding him. Now Godwin has it. Gets it to the big man, Garrison. Number 1 player in Oklahoma looking for his moment. Garrison shot. It won't roll home, and we're going to OT. It was a decent look, and it looked like for a moment it was going to roll home, but it just falls off, and we need 4 more minutes. Catch your breath. Overtime coming up here next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
Back to it at the Lloyd Noble Center. Josh Callaway, Jordan Ray ready for overtime in this 5A state title game. We're just not ready for the season to be over just yet. Our overtime sponsor, why not Crocstar Dinner Club? They're our instant replay sponsor all year. Don't really get to get them in when we're not able to show the games. Obviously, just audio-only broadcast. Crocstar Dinner Club, bringing families back to the dinner table with effortless cooking. Located at 2150 South Douglas Boulevard, Suite G in Midwest City. 4-minute overtime period in this 5A state championship game. Garrison wins the tip for Del City. They're still going right to left here from our spot courtside at the Lloyd Noble Center. No Jordan McAllister for 4 more minutes for Del City. They have to survive as well. Found out of this game a while ago for the Eagles. Here we go. Del City with the ball first. Brandon Garrison, a decent look at the game winner, but it didn't fall. And so we play overtime. Veely drives, kicks it out to Green on the left wing with Hopkins guarding him. Percy Green right side to Kalen Godwin. 33 apiece. Bounce pass over Garrison. He wasn't ready. Mott stole it. Pass ahead to England. Start the fast break. Jordan England to the rim. Blocked from behind by Garrison. Titans save it. And they'll have another shot at this. I can't believe that Garrison ran him down and blocked it from behind. Like LeBron in the finals against Iguodala. It was amazing. Titans will set up some offense now.
Yeah, Del City's matchups are out of sort.
Final 3 minutes. Hopkins at the top. He'll back it out and reset some offense here for the Titans. Boy, what a wild sequence that was.
Whatever happens here, Mott has Percy Green on him. Tayshaun James has Veely on him. Bit of a size advantage for Carl Albert. They need to at least attack the offensive glass.
Hopkins feeds it to James, who gives it back. Titans are in no rush here, working the clock down here in the overtime period. Hopkins with Garrison on him, going to take it right at him. Finish and the foul. Quincy Hopkins puts the Titans in front. I'm a little taken aback. I wasn't ready for him to just go right at Garrison like that, and it worked out big time.
At some point, they've been challenging Garrison over and over again. At some point, they had to break through, you would think, and they did there.
Hopkins' free throw won't go off the back iron. Garrison skies for the board. So the lead will stay at 2. Eagles have it back. 2:25 left in the overtime. Demarius Veely guarded by James. Left side to Foreman Felix. To Kwesi guarding him. Over to Veely. He'll pump fake and now he'll drive it. Going to go to the rim. Up and under. Layup attempt. It goes in. The foul. Circus shot from Veely. And we're even with a free throw to come.
We've seen some bad offense this game thanks to great defense. And we've seen just now, though, 2 amazing offensive plays by Veely and Quincy Hopkins. As Carl Albert will go for an offense for defense sub.
That ball was almost as high as the shot clock. It was way in the air, came right down, right through the net.
But Hopkins couldn't make his free throw to give Carl Albert a 3-point lead. Can Veely take advantage?
Teams are continuing to sub frequently. Deshaun Long back in for the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they get Casey Baker back out there, along with Ryan Reynolds. Free throw, no good. So both teams can't complete the 3-point play, and we stay tied with 2:09 to play in the overtime period. England will walk it up for the Titans. The senior point guard, nobody you would rather have the ball in their hands than him. He gives over to Hopkins. Final 2 minutes. Hopkins is going to drive it. Lost it for a moment, but he gets it back. He'll take it out to the interlocking OU. Right side to England with Veely guarding him. Goes to his left, feeds over to Jaden Mott, gives it right back. $1:45 to go. England will back it out, now over to Hopkins. Reynolds comes over to set a screen for him. Hopkins on the right wing. And he'll back it out once more. Carl Albert continuing to melt that clock down. Feeds it over to England. England guarded by Veely. He's going to take it at him, now he'll back it out once more. Carl Albert continuing to just whittle the clock down more and more. Potentially to have a look at a game-winning shot. Here's Hopkins going to go all the way to the rim. This time he saw a seam, but he can't finish. Percy Green right on him. It's a decent look for Hopkins. We've seen him make those shots before, but that one doesn't roll home. And Del City gets the rebound. They have it back with a minute to go.
Now this is not the defensive lineup for Carl Albert. Can Del City run more clock because of that?
Foreman Felix starts to go on Reynolds. Now he'll back it out to Garrison. Right side, Demarius Veely. 50 seconds now to play in overtime. Veely takes it out to the midcourt logo. 43 seconds. Del City had a look at a game winner in regulation. Garrison couldn't hit. Veely this time drives the lane. What a pass to Garrison, who lays it in! Eagles ahead by 2. Titans got plenty of time here to try and get down or tie or even take the lead. England racing down the floor for Carl Albert. He'll go to the rim. Layup attempt won't go. Garrison disrupted it. It'll go out of bounds and stay with the Titans.
Not only did he disrupt it, Garrison got his hand on the ball after it went off the backboard, keeping Mott from a clean offensive rebound and putback. It goes out of bounds off Del City, but if Garrison didn't swing his arm like that, Mott would have had an easy 2. It's just incredible defensive play, and there's still Carl Albert ball. I mean, we wouldn't have it any other way here as far as the drama goes, but It's not the prettiest game because you often define pretty by offense, but man,
defense has been very high level, like you're saying, and
with
this fourth quarter and the overtime, it's just been huge body blows back and forth.
And we have to say a special mention for the quarter that Veely's had, or the overtime.
Yeah, he's been very good in the overtime. He had, obviously, the circus layup bucket, and then a fantastic feed off to Garrison on the layup. He drove the lane, had a little bit of room there. Would have been a tough layup, but instead he dished it off. Garrison was all alone. Easy lane for the big man to put the Eagles ahead by 2 points with 22.1 on the clock. This whole building is shaking. That's why our clock keeps moving all over the place, because this place is alive. Huge crowd. It was already a big crowd. Lots of people have poured in for the 6A game to follow, so it's pretty packed in here.
And it's a flimsy table.
It's a bit of a flimsy table.
All right, for Carl Albert, I'm surprised we don't see Hutch Russell because he can shoot the three, but this is still a good offensive lineup they have.
You go for the tie or the win here?
I think you're going to go for the tie with Quincy Hopkins.
22.1 to go. Inbound goes to Mott. He gives it right back to England. He'll go down the lane. Kick out in the corner. Hopkins open three. Too much. Rebound Garrison. Pass in the front court to Veely. Demarius Veely to the rim. Blocked by Hopkins. How did he run that down? Titans have it back. 7 seconds. Jordan England crosses half court. He goes down the lane, takes contact, left hip, float up the back iron. No. Clock's going to run out. Del City is the 5A state champions. A mayhem final 20 seconds, and the Eagles hang on and find a way to bring the gold ball back home to Del City.
I cannot believe that sequence. The block shots, the defense. I feel bad again for Coach Price. I respect him so much and his players, and he was fuming that he thought if England was fouled. He thought England was fouled.
He came out onto the floor afterwards.
May have been. Yeah. He probably had a point, but of course you know how this works. At the end of a game, the foul has to be kind of obvious. I don't know if there was enough obvious contact.
You got to get clobbered at the end of the game. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, they'll call it
at every level. At every level.
The refs don't swallow their whistle at the end of the game. That's a myth. But are they more reluctant? Yes. And I'll tell you this, not only do I feel bad for Coach Price, of course he's won 3 of these, and we'll talk about maybe a potential 4th here. God, I feel bad for Jordan England. Well, he had a good 2 years there, and he was so effective in this game. I couldn't quite tell who I would give player of the game to for Carl Albert. I know we're going to give it to for Del City. In a moment, we'll talk about that. And that's the senior. I feel bad for Tayshawn James, Reed DeQuacy. Of course, they got their state title in football. But the Del City seniors, it's never pretty with those guys. But what a great senior class. And Brandon Garrison, the rest of the seniors did not play a lot in the playoff run. Del City had to win state in 6A. Veely and Foreman Felix played off the bench, but not a lot. So we're going to see the team shake hands. But Garrison, 2 state titles as a starting center for Del City. They had They had 1 state title before that. And that, we'll go into transition to that, Josh. Our obvious
Triple Elite player of the game,
obvious
Brandon
Triple Elite player of the game. We take it for granted sometimes. He probably could have won player of the game a few other times, but we're like, we'll share the wealth to one of his teammates. Can't do it here. As
Brandon Garrison.
Veely played well in overtime. Of course, McAllister was awesome at times.
Brandon Garrison, our Triple Elite player of the game, 17 points, 16 rebounds. He goes in the books with 4 blocks. It felt like 10.
He altered.
He was everywhere on defense. I mean, I'm a little speechless, which is not good as a broadcaster, but I am a little bit. That was such an incredible game, especially that final 12 minutes was just 2 incredibly good teams, like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, with D1 level athletes all over the floor, players you'll remember forever, 2 great coaches, 2 unbelievable programs, just doing everything in that final 12 minutes. And while, like you were saying kind of a minute ago, we said at the top we win either way with OSN, we were going to feel either way because both these teams deserved a championship, but that's not how it works. Only one can, and Del City is the team that comes out with it. and they're getting ready to celebrate the gold ball. Don't go anywhere in the post game, by the way. Jordan's going to talk to Coach Lenny Hatchett, as well as many of the Eagles players he can get. Yeah,
many seniors as I can.
This Dell City team, which been saying it all year, and we talked about it last night. One goal the whole year for this Dell City team. Nothing else would have been acceptable. Nothing else would have been a success for this Dell City group than to do what they've done, which is win the whole dang thing, win the 5A state championship. All senior starting five. First few guys off the bench are seniors as well, with Wiley, Godwin, and Long. And they did what they set out to do from the very beginning, and that's come home with the gold ball. Unbelievable game and unbelievable season, unbelievable team.
This has been an interesting rivalry, too, between these teams. There have been a lot of close games. Dell City has now won 7 in a row against Carl Albert, but none of them blowouts. Some of the games they had more control over, so you won't say it was a nail-biter. And then some of the games were nail-biters, and this is one of them. And, again, feel terrible for the Carl Albert players, but for the Dell City seniors,
which is a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
I also got to give them credit for this. They played in the state title game last year, so they've been in the state title game 3 straight years after as a freshman, and I don't know how many of them were affected by COVID. You know, I'm sure they want to see their team win, but I think Garrison suited up for them as a freshman. I don't think he played a whole lot. And real happy for Jaden Foreman Felix because he didn't play last year. He was hurt. I feel great for Percy Green because, you know, he didn't play much as a sophomore and really stepped into his own last year as the three-point marksman the team needed. No threes today, but a good season for Percy Green. Demarius Feely, now that guy, for his ability, he can be hit or miss, but I say that in overtime, he made 2 crucial plays. Getting to the basket when that was problems for Dell City. Carl Albert's going to get recognized with the runner-up trophy.
Obviously, I mean,
Stakes for him, and that, again.
A lot to be excited about. That program's not going anywhere. I think everybody knows that. And like you said, some really good seniors moving on in Jordan England and Tayshawn James and Reed DeQuazy, but a lot of talent going to be back. And, I mean, we can talk about it a little later or now if you want, but Carl Albert, your favorite, I mean, going into next year. I mean, you look at what they have coming back.
Bring that to sometime. With 5 juniors coming back, absolutely.
Casey Baker, back. Jaden Mott, back. Hutch Russell, back. Ryan Reynolds, back. Quincy Hopkins, back. So, I mean, a lot of talent's going to be back on this team. And they're going to come back with a vengeance, you know, after coming so close here.
We'll have a 10-point lead in the second half. That's the thing. It's
28-18 it was.
That's going to sting for a long time that they couldn't close the deal. But, again, for more for Dell City here. Big minutes this game from Deshaun Long. I didn't even remember him being on the team last year, even some from Jalen Wiley. And to Kalen Godwin, their quarterback this year. He started quarterback for the football team. Those two, Godwin and Long, combined for 34 minutes off the bench. And so, and by the way, for players like Godwin and Jaden Foreman Felix, don't forget that they lost in the football playoffs to Carl Albert. So beating them at this stage, at this level, has to feel really good for them. And it led to a state gold ball. They beat them last year in the semifinals. But, of course, that didn't not helping them a whole lot because they lost the next game to Tulsa Memorial. But I knew then Dell City was my overwhelming favorite to win state. It wasn't as clear-cut as I thought it would be. Probably because of Carl Albert, but they've had some other tough games. But they pull it through. They find a way to pull it through. And here they're going to get recognized right now, holding the trophy.
Brandon Garrison holding it up high. That's the right guy to hold it. Yeah. You can get it the highest. He holds up the gold ball with the net on it, and Dell City celebrating as Jordan's going to get out there and catch up with Coach Lenny Hatchett and, like we said, as many players basically as he can. You know, we were saying on the Oklahoma Sports Network for a long time that the champion was going to be one of these two teams. I gave the slight edge to Dell City personally just because I thought that with their speed, athleticism, and everything that they have, that makes them obviously good. But then you pair that with the fact that they have so many seniors, so many guys who are veterans. They're not going to get rattled by the moment, and that didn't happen tonight. You saw that play out tonight as Dell City, they were just a little bit better at the end of the game down the stretch. So Jordan's getting out there. He's getting the mic all set. They're taking some team photos and whatnot. So don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from Coach Lenny Hatchett in just a moment. And then we'll also hear, I assume, from Brandon Garrison and just about everybody that Jordan get his hands on pretty much here coming up in just a moment here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Team taking the championship photo. Memories that last a lifetime. You feel for Carl Albert. They came off the floor. Obviously, a tough pill to swallow. And that's just how it goes. It's one of those situations. These were the two best teams all year. It was going to be a shame that somebody had to come up short, and it winds up being the Carl Albert Titans as Del City wins the 5A state championship. They won 6A 2 years ago in 2021. Were runners-up last year, losing to Tulsa Memorial. They avenged that loss against the Chargers last night in the semis, and now they continue this hot stretch against the Titans by taking down Carl Albert in the championship game and claiming another gold ball to bring home to Del City. Jordan patiently waiting for his opportunity to get a hold of Coach Hatchett and any players that he can as the Del City team goes over and celebrates with the very large student contingent that came out here. This was an awesome crowd out here at the Lloyd Noble Center, as you'd guess, for this game of this magnitude. And these two teams, these crosstown rivals, just 10 minutes apart, basically, the two high schools.
Hey, Josh, am I on?
Yeah, you're on, sir. You are.
Okay.
Whenever you get a hold of somebody, go for it. And it looks like he's got Brandon Garrison. This is the man of the hour right now. Brandon Garrison.
Hey, we're going to start with our player of the game. Brandon, unbelievable performance. Your team needed some offense in the second half. You started to give it to them. Just talk about the energy and effort you're able to play with, winning your second state title.
It just means a lot, man. I started off slow the first quarter, but coach was in there. He got on me a little bit, and I had to turn up the second half.
Your rim protection was as good as ever. And Carl Albert challenged you at times. How are you able to stay out of foul trouble and affect so many shots?
Just meeting the ball up top, my timing got better, and just getting the blocks.
Now we have to give some credit to Jaden Mott for that dunk, though, don't we?
Yeah. Now I told my team that was actually my fault. I told him good dunk. He's athletic.
What does it mean to you for your career at Del City? You won a 6A title as a sophomore. You had the game-winning block there, and then getting this one here.
It means a lot. We got the best coach staff in the state, and he just got us to where we did, and we finished.
All right. Anything else, Brandon, to describe how sweet this is?
It just means a lot. Gonna go home and have fun.
All right. Congratulations. Go celebrate.
Now Jordan's going to get over
I think the Del City players have left. Mike could get a word.
Got to clear out because
Coach,
team's coming out.
I talked to the ever-important Brandon Garrison. We take for granted how good he is. 2 years ago, Keandre Young was your D1 senior. He stepped up in the championship game. This year, Brandon Garrison, he was special.
Man, well, people don't remember in 21, Brandon got the key block against the Padulla kid. If Brandon doesn't run down here and get that block, no telling how that game goes. He hustled his butt down there and got that block. Unbelievable play, unbelievable player. I was just so proud of our team, especially with Jamari being in foul trouble. And other guys stepped up tonight.
1 point in the third quarter. You're down 28-18. Yes. What happened to get back in this game?
We've been in it several times this year. I just told our guys it's one possession at a time, and I thought we kept panicking a little bit. But once we got a couple key stops, they did a really good job of just getting the ball where we needed to and started hitting free throws and getting shots.
Okay, so second title, state title for you. I saw 2 years ago how special it was later on in the videos of you kicking your legs in the air with your brother, JD, holding you in the arms, in his arms. How does this compare? How is this feeling like now?
It's awesome because we got to continue to keep this thing going at Del City, and we've had a bunch of stuff going on this year, and you know all of it. I ain't going to get into all that, but our kids have stuck through the thick and thin, and they played tough, and they found ways to win, and that was the most important win of the season right here, to be going home as state champions. I'm so proud of these guys.
And Carl Albert, they defended you better than any team again. For consistent defense that entire game.
Tayshawn kid comes in there. He is so physical on our guards, and we always had a smaller guard out there because we're not. When Matt got in foul trouble, we had to go two small guards with Day and Veely. But Deshaun Long stepped in, played some good minutes. And God, they just know us well, just kind of like we know them. And but I knew whoever had the ball last had a chance to win it or was going to win it.
Two more questions. One, what can you say one more time about this senior class?
Unbelievable group. Been with me for 4 years. Never quit on us. Stay committed with us. Loyal guys. I love these guys. I'm going to be with them is for the rest of their lives, and they're going to remember this for the rest of their lives.
And something I haven't asked you about, but your coaching staff, including Coach Griffin, who wasn't here with you, what can you say about your guys?
Man, unbelievable staff. I mean, I talked to Coach Griffin before we came, and he just said, Coach, I've been praying for you guys, and he's so happy for the entire team and staff. And then Coach Durham, Coach Moe, and Coach Young, they've done an unbelievable job this week of preparation, commitment and sacrifice. I mean, you know how it is. Coaches, we put in a lot of hours, and you know what? This staff, they really love each other, and we love these guys, and that's what makes it special.
All right, Coach, congratulations. I'm sure we'll have another celebration for you like 2 years ago.
You got it. I will let you know. We'll have it at the gym. This time we're really going to put it on the show, all right?
Okay, this time will be a show. Congratulations, man. Thank you. Josh, about to join you again with my headset here.
What a ball game. I mean, what can you say as Jordan makes his way back over here? Incredible finish to that game, and Del City finds a way in the end to get the job done. Jordan's back with me now at the table here.
Yeah, I'm sorry we couldn't get to more players, but they're going to start the 6A game pretty quickly.
Yeah, they came out. That game went kind of long, so the 6A game tips off in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so
I forgot. Overtime means they're going to not have as much time in between games to celebrate, which makes a lot of sense. And
we got to hold a Garrison.
Very fitting, though, that this game would come down to the last shot. And, Josh, real quick, before we get to one last thing here, I want to say that it's great calling all these games with you this year. You stepped up. Colton Fleetwood, I love calling games with him, but he wasn't as available this year because of new job opportunities. And, of course, he's got to take care of his family. So nothing but respect for Colton. But you stepped in, helped with the Carl Albert tournament, did 2 or 3 Mid-Del regular season games, and then the playoffs. And, of course, I know why you do it. Like me, you enjoy it so much. And was it fun? And what a way to go out.
Oh, yeah, it was an incredible season. Thank you for welcoming in. You know these Mid-Del teams so well. Obviously, I can never match what you know about these programs and everything, but I feel like I know them a lot, well
pretty
now.
well.
Yeah, I mean, being around them so much, all the coaches, Coach Hatch and Jay Price, of course, as well as the girls' teams, everybody. So great to us and make it a lot easier, and it was a really fun run throughout this entire postseason especially. But obviously a great season. You helped me out with the Game of the Week broadcasts. Appreciate you. I come in, help you with Mid-Del, and it was a great run throughout the postseason. I'll recap the points here real quick, too, for anybody with us here to recap the game a little bit. Brandon Garrison, like we said, he was our Triple Elite player of the game, 17 points, 16 rebounds. Incredible showing from him. A lot of blocks as well. He was absolutely everywhere. Percy Green had 4 points from Jamori McAllister, 4 points from Demarius Veely, 3 from Jaden Foreman-Felix, and then 2 from DeKalen Godwin, 2 from Deshaun Long. Not 1 minute of this game was played for Del City from a non-senior, which is kind of amazing going into next year. For Carl Albert, high man was Jordan England. What a great career from him. He was a warrior in this game. 15 points, 11 rebounds for him. He was tremendous. Just came up a little bit short in the end. 8 points from Quincy Hopkins, 5 points from Jaden Mott, 3 points from Ryan Reynolds, 2 from Reed DeQuazy, and 2 from Casey Baker. Rounds it out for the Titans as Del City wins it 37-35 in overtime and are your 5A state champions.
And I want to say real quick, yes, Carl Albert with their seniors, they're going to need a strong point guard. It could become Casey Baker, maybe one of their younger players next year. But with 5 seniors, I like them in 5A for sure at the top of the West. I mean, Tulsa Memorial, they got to rebuild. Del City's got to rebuild. They'll be good still, but we just don't know who it will be and how soon it will come together for them. Midwest City boys, we'll just have to see. For Mid-Del, if they go down to 5A, that will help them out, but they're going to have a new coach and a lot of mystery about that team. So Midwest City and Del City boys might both be down. We'll see. They might be up and be a surprise team. I could see going either way. On the girls' side, Midwest City girls, if they could go down to 5A, will be real contenders because they'll have some really good seniors next year. They need to replace a couple of guards. That will be tough but doable. Carl Albert girls will miss their senior class a great deal. They'll have a good foundation with Asha Moore, senior, next year, and then 4 freshmen becoming sophomores. Could have their most athletic team. And Del City girls, with all their freshmen and some of the sophomores, they also are returning a lot of players. So girls will be where it's at next year for Mid-Del basketball, along with the Carl Albert boys. But I look forward to it. And, of course, We hope to have some good Mid-Del baseball games coming up, but that will be after I get a couple weeks off.
Yes, I think we all could use that after the last few weeks. The playoffs are a blast, but they stretch us thin. We go all over the place. We're going to place we've never been. We're going to Chickasha last week, Mustang. We're all over the place doing these playoff games, but it's a joy, and it was a lot of fun to follow, especially these two teams throughout the entire postseason. It was great that they got to play each other in the title game, and then it lived up to all the hype, everything we could have hoped for. It happened in this game as it goes to overtime, and a wild win for the Eagles. And it's not really too hot of a take, I don't think, and might be a little bit of bias seeping in. But as it sits here today, I think that we're going to be sitting in this same spot next March, crowning the other team. I think Carl Albert has got to be your favorites going into next year. So many returning players of note, and there's going to be a vengeance on that squad, I think, coming into next year. So Carl Albert's not going anywhere.
First time I ever went to a OSSAA state title game was Carl Albert playing Lawton Eisenhower back in 2015. It was in the afternoon, of course, because that's how 5A boys usually are. And Eisenhower won by 2 points. And, Carl Albert, I wasn't as familiar with him back then, but they lost a heartbreaker then. Next year, came back and won state, beat Tulsa Memorial by 2, and won the state gold ball in 2016. You could see a similar rallying cry with this team.
It's going to be a tough pill to swallow for now, but it won't take too long before that team is back working at it, and Coach Price is going to get them right back in the same building and right back in the same game. I have very high confidence in that. Want to thank Gina Standers one more time?
Yep. Let's do it. So, Gina, we thank you. She's actually texting me, Josh, loving that her Del City Eagles won the state title again in basketball,
I'm
2 out of 3 years. Said, so sweet, DCHS, meaning Del City High School, is so special. Hey, listen, Gina, we'll be sure you find out when the celebration is. It's going to be after spring break, of course, so it'll be, in about 10 to 12 days or something like that at least. But be sure you head to that and celebrate with the team and players. Colt and I did that a couple years ago. It was fun. Anyway, Gina is running for Mid-Del School Board Ward 3, and she wants to ensure that all students receive equitable and equal education, enhance school safety security protocols, improve community relations, provide more mental health and trauma services, expand vocational technical programs, offer more elective options in curriculum, reduce class size to allow more individual instruction, support and recognition for teachers and staff, and increase funding for teachers, staff, salaries and benefits, equipment upgrades, and building maintenance, and authorized and paid for by standards for Mid-Del School Board 2023. Do want to thank also Colton, the people that helped out with Mid-Del basketball. That includes our boss, Eric Sherham. Thank you very much, Eric. Kirk Norman did more games this year than he did in the past. Thank you, Kirk. A lot of Carl Albert games, including the playoffs. Also want to thank Jacoby Brossi for helping producing and some of our student camera operators and producers. Probably too many to thank, but we appreciate all of them for helping us out. And we hope to do more good things again this next year. This year we had the Carl Albert tournament, so that, and along with the playoffs, made it really special.
It was a great season. Again, thank you to you, Jordan, for allowing me to be here beside you throughout this run. It's been an absolute blast. Of course, like you said, to Eric, our boss, Eric Sharon, for just even allowing me to be courtside for games like this is special. It was a lot of fun tonight. It was a great postseason run.
One last batch of thank yous. These sponsors, La Herencia Grill, Dynamic Health Clinic, Super Subs, Buffalo Wild Wings, our quarter sponsors, our instant replay sponsor, who we couldn't show instant replays because of rules about video, so we had no video, so no instant replay. Crocstar Dinner Club, though, thank you. Starting lineups, Louis, thank you, Louis. Triple League Player of the Game. I feel like I'm missing one, but of course, our Rose State free throw sponsor. Thank you, Rose State. Bobby Lewis, thank you for the 3-point shots sponsor. We appreciate you guys a lot.
It's really important. Sponsorships, we flat out don't get to do these games without them, especially in the postseason. The rates are too high without the sponsorships, so they make it happen. So reward them with their business, with your business, I should say, because if you like watching the playoff games especially, there's just no way we could do it without them. So reward them with your business, and we appreciate everybody who tuned in throughout the postseason, all season long on OSN. It's been great. Mid-Del is a very loyal fan base. People tune in every single time, and that's what makes it. That's why we do it, is so people can tune in and enjoy these games with us without having to be there, people out of state, things like that. So what a season. You can't end it any better than what we had. An all Mid-Del championship game, and it was a great game in overtime. Del City, your 5A state champs. Any last things, Jordan, before we sign off on the basketball season?
One more thanks to all the coaches. Coach McMullen, you'll be missed with the Midwest City boys. The girls coaches, Coach Dunn at Midwest City, Coach Ritchie at Carl Albert, Coach White at Del City, and of course the two coaches we saw today and tonight with great teams, great coaching on the defensive side, especially Jay Price for Carl Albert, the runner-up this year, and Lenny Hatchett, second gold ball in 3 years.
Yep.
Runs a great program. He's made such a huge difference with that program since he's been there. Congratulations, and thank you all for helping us put your games on the air.
Very interested in this Del City program in the next year with so many guys, new faces on that team. But Coach Ash is such a good coach, runs such a good program. They'll be back in this tournament probably before too long themselves. That's it for us. We thank you so much for everybody who tuned in throughout the state tournament and throughout the entire postseason and season on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It was a hugely successful football season for OSN this past year. Capped off with our banquet about a month ago or so, however long ago that was. It's been a blur with all the postseason hoops. It was a great basketball season. We'll have some spring sports, like Jordan said, some mid-adult baseball and things like that throughout the spring. Before you know it, it'll be back in time for another football season next August. So we hope you stay with OSN on Facebook and the OK Sportsnet app and OKSportsnet.com for all the latest. Find out what we have coming up for you throughout the spring, into the summer, and then obviously into next fall whenever we get football rev back up as well. That's it for us. Huge thank you to everybody at OSN that makes it possible, all the sponsors, all the coaches, like Jordan said. For Jordan Ray, I'm Josh Calloway signing off from the Lloyd Noble Center. We'll see you next season on the basketball side of things as the Del City Eagles win the 5A state championship tonight over Carl Albert, 37-35 in overtime. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.